Welcome, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, again to the final Gems and Juice podcast. Maybe the final. I don't know. If something extremely crazy happens, we might have to jump in the studio and do an emergency podcast. But for all intents and purposes, this is the last podcast of the year. Gems and Juice episode 143. Something, I don't know. I've lost count. But this is the year-end wrap-up podcast. We're going to wrap up everything that's happened throughout the year. We're going to give y'all our favorite albums of the year, our favorite moments of the year, and things we like to forget in the 2020, the dreadful 2020 that everybody's trying to put behind them and move on. We have got a cornucopia of voices joining us today, good friends of the show as well. We got, of course, the lovely Jasmine joining us again. And we got Clubhouse God. I've dubbed Brandon Caldwell the Clubhouse God. You know, a beat king is a club god. Brandon Caldwell is a Clubhouse God. We got Clubhouse God Brandon Caldwell joining us today as well. So,
oh man, I don't be in it. Look, man, I will say this: as much as I be on Clubhouse, I've never been in the moan room. We can say that for certain. I've never been in the moan room.
Wait, you not even the female moan room?
No, bro, because people look like because then I'm gonna look like I gotta be tricking, and like I like to trick, but I ain't tricking in the moan room.
Come on, how are you tricking in the moan? What's wrong with being? The first night I got on Clubhouse, I was in the moan room. That shit was lit, man. Like, how you not gonna be in the moan? You need a.
It's a little awkward, man. It's like it's like porn ASMR. Is what that is.
I know what you're really embarrassed of, because the thing is, when people follow you, they see what rooms you're in. So yeah, they would see, oh, Brandon horny as hell tonight in the moan room,
4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Hey man, look, Clubhouse notifications be giving you away, so I can't.
You need a burner Clubhouse account for the ratchet shit.
Look, if I got a burner Clubhouse, I mean that's extra invites. I might have to start selling them too.
You should, man. Well, I think we'll talk about that later, because I think Clubhouse is getting very, very populated now. I see people who usually just post on Facebook getting on Clubhouse now. I think the golden age might be over, but we'll get into that a little later on, man. But first off, we got to talk to the lovely Jasmine joining us again. Check in with her. Jasmine, how you feeling? You look good. I like that hair, by the way. You look cute.
Thanks. You know, trying to do my natural thing. Remember, you got on me for Black Power when I took my weave out. And
for the Black Panther movie.
I'm back at it during quarantine. I'm good. I'm just excited to go home, visit family for the holidays, get a little break. Been working a lot lately, so I'm just happy to be here with y'all. I haven't talked to y'all in a while, so Brandon, this is my first time on with you, so I'm excited. This is gonna be a good episode.
That's good. That's good. I'm not even gonna snitch on you for not wearing a mask when you was out at that birthday party. I saw you at the restaurant as well with like 100 people. But I'm not gonna snitch on you though. I'm not gonna bring that up. I'm not gonna bring that up.
I do wear masks. Everybody wear your mask. Are you trying to do me right now? But
okay, no, because you was getting mad. Rockett, you're going to the gym right now. You're going to the gym. How can you go to the gym in the pandemic and you out here having a good old time with about 20-25 people in a restaurant, in a populated restaurant? But I'm gonna leave you alone.
No,
I know you got to have fun for people's birthday. Well, it wasn't even a birthday; it was a Leroy Cook's music video thing, right?
Yeah, his release thing. And I can't lie to you, I was very paranoid the entire time.
No, okay.
Me and another girl that we were just very like, I shouldn't be here. But thankfully, I'm Rona free. I'm Rona free. Brandon got his mask on. But, yeah, it was good. It was exciting. You know, Leroy's a friend of the show. He dropped his knockout video not too long ago. So if y'all haven't seen that, go check that out. Shameless plug.
Yes, check out Leroy Cook's new video out now. And yeah, we had a whole lot of friends of the show there. I saw Chrissy was there as well. So yeah, look at y'all had a good time. I was just playing with you.
It still feels so weird looking at Leroy with a regular haircut. It makes no sense no more. I'm so used to having like the Leaning Tower pizza with like the blonde streak in it. But now it's just a regular like straight up fade. I'm like, who are you?
It's a pandemic, man. Everybody going back to normal, dog. We can't.
Nah, my nigga, this is not normal. This isn't. Yeah,
that's
this
true.
Isn't normal.
That's true. Oh yeah, for people who are
this
just
is 2001. This is real D'Angelo, Allen Iverson situation here. Again, I looked up when I went and got it done yesterday. I went ahead and had the blow dry to my hair. I didn't realize my hair was that damn long. I knew it was long, but then again, every time you see me on the pod, it's like a little mini fro type situation. Now it's a fro situation. Put some heat on that thing. So,
what made you want to get braids in 2020? Is it the Steph Curry effect?
No, the patron saint of all things light skinned basketball. You will not put that on me whatsoever.
No, I'm just asking, man. I'm just asking.
I refuse.
What was the inspiration for the fashion choice? They look good, by the way. They look clean.
Thank you. Shout out to my homegirl April who did them. Basically, bro, it's just if I feel like I'm in the house and I'm on this whole Shaquille Sunflower type situation, you know, going to the gym, getting your body right, getting your mind right, getting your skin even better than it is already, mad chocolatey and shit. And then, hey, why not go get braids to look Dominican? Like, why not just bring it all home?
It's man exfoliating. It is self-care Saturday, by the way. So
it is definitely self-care Saturday. Shout out to everybody doing something to kind of chill out because it's raining like hell in Houston. And
it is.
AKA, that means nobody can drive, so stay your ass in the house. Like
RIP to Pornhub too. They shut down Pornhub, but we'll talk about that.
Well, I don't frequent that particular.
Okay. Yeah, I don't go in the moan room. I don't watch Pornhub.
I don't look. I'm not giving up my particular my dalliances.
She's freaky.
Shout out to Shout out to She's Freaky, Spank Bang, and Tasty Blacks. But basically, all I am saying is, you know, if you want to shut down Houston for real, don't have a pandemic. Just make it rain for like about 40 days. People stay their ass in the house.
That's true. Mm-hmm. That's true. Very true.
I realized that once I moved here, when somebody told me, man, I'm trying to get home. It's about to rain. I'm like, rain? Ain't no rain stopping nobody from partying and doing nothing. And I seen how it rained. I'm like, oh yeah. Now my black ass be in the house when it rain.
See, look, had the owner of Taste Kitchen, if it rained that day, he wouldn't have to be complaining about twerking.
True that. And last but least, we also got to check in on my man himself, the fellow Mob Ties affiliate, dog. You certified now as well.
Yeah, y'all certified for real. We'll get to that in a second. I was like, yo,
Mob Ties.
I'm like, yo. When are they getting the wine and the Rapalot chains? It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming, man. It's coming.
Hey, I ain't want to ask for too much, but I was definitely thinking about that Rapalot chain.
The chain is coming, man. Yeah. We qualified now, but Figgy, how you been, man? I know you've been under the weather. There was a COVID scare. I don't know if you officially have been diagnosed with it, but are you okay, man? You feeling better?
I'm feeling awful, honestly, man.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I got a real bad cough now. Having trouble breathing. My temperature's still up, but I'm hanging in there, man. I'm hanging in there.
I feel for you, man. I feel for you. It is sad too because you see this everybody. I feel, and that's why I never made a joke about COVID. I never made a joke about COVID, man, because every time I see somebody joke about it on social media, several weeks later, they say, "Oh, this COVID shit ain't no joke, y'all." I can leave now.
That's exactly how it went.
Yeah, it's crazy because I literally can't taste anything. Can't smell anything. I was burning the Bath and Body Works candle. Can't smell shit, man. And it's terrible.
Now you know it's bad. You can't do nothing with a Bath and Body Works candle.
Yeah, man. Usually you could just burn that for about 10 minutes and you'd be good. But I literally couldn't smell anything.
Well, I feel for you, bro. I hope you feel better soon, man, because that sounds terrible.
And I think the part that suck about this is it's around the holiday. So I was in the holiday spirit. Now I don't care now.
I mean, considering how this happened, Fig, do you feel a type of way that certain people who are denying of this this virus are now getting the vaccine? AKA the vaccine?
I ain't gonna lie, I feel a certain type of way about it because like I said, you got all these people talking about it's a hoax and all you got to do is do this, do that, and now these fools the first people in line trying to get the vaccine. So it's just
Tyrese said he's sleeping in his room is at 90 degrees.
90
That's
degrees.
How he keeps the Rona out. I'm like,
smell musty as hell when you walk in that bitch, man.
Yeah, tripping, man.
You can't wear no clothes. You can't wear no clothes in that bedroom, bro.
You should not be. You should not be sleep anywhere where it's 90 degrees like that.
Plus all the fucking gay orgies he be having in that bitch. Probably it's fucking wild, man. Like how you gonna? Well, so we not gonna act like that's the case with Tom? Okay, anyway.
No, I thought he was
the
a
lyric
married
is
man.
she was a Scorpio Rockett, but if you're trying to tell me he was a Scorpio was the lyric in mind, then hey,
man,
let that man live his life in his room, in his house.
All I know
Let
is
him live his
I
life.
vividly. I'm not knocking it, man. But I do remember vividly that video of when he accidentally told everybody about Dr. Dre's $1 billion Apple Music deal. Him and Dr. Dre were very drunk and very friendly in that room. I'm just saying what I see at the moment, but maybe I'm wrong. I could be just gossiping. Who knows? But anyway, so we got to break down. So what should we do first? Should we do our favorite albums of the year, or should we go a quick little breakdown of the events of the year first before we name our albums? Let's take it up to a vote.
Let's start with the music. We always start with music, so let's start.
That's true. That's true. Oh yeah. Speaking of new releases, a certain white rapper dropped another album this week. Eminem dropped Music to Be Murdered by, I guess, the B-sides. I ain't listened to it. I heard one line in particular, and I know y'all probably seen it on social media, that looked awful. And I said, I'm not going to listen to this album.
Does it involve Chris Christopherson?
Yes.
And it's against Christopherson.
The line goes, allegedly. I haven't heard the song, but this apparently was in this song. He said, have you heard of Chris Christopherson? Ad-lib says, yeah. He says, well, I'm pissed offerson.
Bars.
Yeah.
Now with a napkin and back and him in his back.
The napkins and the blackins. Yeah.
Again, I'm not willing. Look, even though the first one that came out in January, which shocking. Yes, that happened. January seems like it's so far long ago when that first one dropped, but it's December, man. It's December. I really feel like I'm not about to force myself to listen to Eminem in December. Like these are happier times right now. Mariah Carey's #1 on the Billboard charts again with All I Want for Christmas Is You. Like I don't.
Will there ever be a Christmas song to dethrone that Mariah Carey song? Can we
Throw Baby? Throw Baby.
What? A Christmas song, man.
Yeah. Have you not seen the Christmas Carolers do Throw Baby?
Wait, what?
Yes.
Christmas, like kids are singing this song?
No, not kids, carolers.
Oh, okay.
Grown women as carolers. Throw Baby.
Man, come on now. People got
Hey man, look.
I get niggas want to go viral on social media, but there's got to be some kind of line we draw as Black people. Going around singing Throat Baby to unsuspecting families as a Christmas carol is not where we need to be in the post George Floyd America, okay? We need to stop this tomfoolery. We need to stop this tomfoolery, man. But so let's talk about our favorite albums of the year, man. I made a little list of some things that came out, and I'll try to whittle it down to 5 for me. But y'all can name as many as y'all want. If you got a top 5, top 10, top 15, whatever, just name what y'all like. And we're gonna start with Jasmine because we ain't heard her music taste in a while. So what have you been bumping lately, and what were your favorite projects of the year, Jasmine?
So honestly, I can't lie. I've been trying to prep for this because 2020 obviously has been a year. Like I don't remember everything that came out. So I've been listening to my little wrap-ups on Apple Music, Spotify, and in no particular order, I have come up with. Well, I lied. My top pick of the whole 2020 is absolutely Slime and B. I think that album has been slept on a little bit since it came out, but
the Young Thug and Chris Brown album, I forgot that even came out.
Young and Thug, that album was amazing all the way through. So I think that's my number one. If I have to choose, because the other one, I choose that as number one because the other ones are too hard to rank. So I'm gonna give you the rest in no particular order, but of course, Lil Baby, My Turn, Deluxe. Remember the Deluxe, not just the regular, the Deluxe. I'm gonna go with. I also said Pop Smoke.
Okay.
Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon. 21 Savage, Savage Mode 2. The Morgan Freeman narrative in itself, like the narration in itself, made that a hit for me. And although it was not, we had some complaint. I had some complaints about Jay Electronica featuring Jay-Z on every single track, but A Written Testimony is not to be forgotten. It's not to be forgotten. The album was good. What am I at? Where am I at? Is that 5? And then I had honorable mention, Chilambo, obviously. I'm a Janae fan. She's always gonna be up there for me. And then I think Rowdy, even though Rowdy came out in 2019, I think he needs to be mentioned too. Like, we still bumping Rowdy like it just came out. A lot of people are, or at least for a majority of the year. So I think he is not to be slept on, even though his album did technically come out in 2019.
Yeah, plus he's free now, so there's that. Where's Megan Thee Stallion's album on your list, ma'am? Are you not supporting Black women? I see you got
he started shit.
First of all, I think Crybaby, if she gives me a Crybaby video, I will be very happy. I can't lie and say that album did it for me. It wasn't the best album to me. Like, I appreciate her. I've been asking for some different content from her, and she delivered, but I don't know. It was what it was. It was what it was. Mulatto, though, not to compare or contrast, but I thought Mulatto had a good album. I don't know if I can mention her. I don't know if that's too many albums for honorable mention, but I thought Mulatto had a good project, and I'm excited to see what she does for 2021. I know she's coming. She's actually coming with Trina on the 30th, so check that out if y'all are interested in large.
Are you going to be in the building?
Huh?
Are you going to be in the building for Trina and Mulatto?
I have not decided yet. This would be my first show since the Rona, so I honestly don't know. I don't know.
But Jasmine, you may consider yourself a real ass trill ass B from the South. I'm sorry, rich. There's also that part. You gotta add that in there. You're a rich ass trill ass B from the South.
But I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
You gonna get the vaccine first?
What'd you say?
Are you gonna get the vaccine first?
No, that's what I wanted to ask y'all. How do y'all feel? I'm against the vaccine right now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's gonna be a minute unless work or something like life. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying.
Why are you against the vaccine?
Before I don't even get flu shots, so I gotta see how this gonna play out before I get a vaccine.
Okay. So no, I want to dig into this though, because I want you to say things I'm not going to say because you're a cute girl and you can get away with it. So why are you against the vaccine?
If 2020 has not taught me anything this year, it is not to trust our government. And I just feel like, the initial reports of like Black people need to have it first, and I know that isn't what stood. Frontline workers have it now, but I've seen some horror videos. I don't know if people are editing and doctoring up these videos, but there have been some wild reactions to it, and I don't like I said, I don't get flu shots, so I've adopted a holistic lifestyle during 2020 that I'm trying to get better and better at as I go on, and I just feel like our people used to live just fine without all these medications and drugs and all this. So I think I'll be okay. I don't know. I don't know when I'm going to get it. I know I probably will have to, but it's not going to be when first available. When it's first available to the public, I'm not going to be running to go get that home. Like, I'll be okay.
Jasmine watched the Dr. Sebi documentary. I can tell.
I knew you were going to say that. I was really going to say that Jasmine is going to sage and crystallize everything around her to make sure that this virus does not come her way.
I do that.
Well, no, you're going to double it up. There's a vaccine out because now it's like double mistrust. It's like, but we have this thing. No, you're going to be like Kyrie. That's what you're going to be like. I probably would take it eventually. You know what I'm saying? I've always been a proponent of like, yo, give me the vaccine when it's on like, it's out of beta. You know what I'm saying? Like it's on that second, that third run. Because again, like it's just like an Apple update. You can't get that new one. You gotta make that 14.1, that 14.2. But again, I have homies who are in like the healthcare line, like the frontline workers who've taken it, and they say just like any other vaccine you've taken, your arms kind of numb up a little bit, and then you
That's
should
the
be
chip
straight.
going in there.
Shut up, Rockett.
That's the government chip they injecting in you, man. Suddenly you can't have kids no more.
The information from Russia.
I'm nervous that we're not going to see the effects until years later. That's the thing. Like I'm nervous.
But then again, also vaccines, like before you have vaccines, your life expectancy was 39 years. And now with vaccines, your life expectancy is like 78. Unless you're black. Then, your life expectancy kind of fluctuates because, the police.
Mm-hmm. So we gotta ask the person with the actual experience with having COVID though. So Figgy, we gotta ask you though.
That's messed up to say, but yes, we have to ask our resident COVID resident,
the COVID expert,
COVID analyst, correspondent.
So
Figgy, are you taking the vaccine, man? What's your thoughts on it?
I will probably take it. Now, be the first one in line. I don't know if I would qualify. What's your definition of being one of the first ones to take it? Is it a couple months after or a year after type of thing?
I think
a couple months.
They have a timeline on it. Like frontline workers got it first, and then I don't know if it's May. I correct me if I'm wrong. I think it may be May is when it's open, like starting to be available to the public.
I heard another company is actually making another one too. So there's like multiple vaccines, I guess, from different companies for COVID. So
then that's strange to me too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I would take it, man, because look, this shit is not cool to have. Like it's not no regular flu, or it's not just like a cold and all this other stuff. I don't wish this shit on anybody. So if that means I have to take something where I won't get it again, I'm down with that, man. Because this shit, and I'm pretty healthy. It feel like I'm about to die. So I can't imagine passing this shit to somebody else and putting them through it. So I don't see myself not taking it.
You sound miserable, Fig. I'm not gonna lie to you. You sound very goddamn miserable. You sound like you've been subjected to like Ben Shapiro and Joe Rogan podcast like 3 weeks. I completely wish better for you, my brother. I do.
Yeah, it'll be all over soon.
So I'm in
a good way, I hope.
Yeah,
like don't say it'll all be over. Like the way you phrase
like
that, like it'll all be over soon. Like damn, Eeyore, I need you to be at least upbeat about me beating this goddamn virus. Like let's not do this. They need your wife needs you,
man. Think you're resilient, man.
Yes,
going nowhere
your future, your children needs you. Your job. I don't know about them because I don't know how they treat black people.
Yeah, but Figgy grew up on the mean streets of East 1999 in Cleveland, man. Yes, through this dog.
The blood of Bone Thugs runs through your veins, Fig. You will be fine.
Shit, that's the other side of town.
I'm kind of in the same boat with you guys, man. Like the only thing that gives, because I'm a natural conspiracy theorist in a way, like I will entertain any theory is to at least listen to it and see if it makes sense to me. But I do question why they seem to be making black faces like the face of the vaccine. Every time you see somebody getting injected, they seem to be black, and I guess they realize it looks like that now because now they have the Mike Pence taking it on TV and these other white officials taking it on TV. But before that, it was all about the black people. Dr. Fauci went on TV and said, "My black brothers and sisters, just know that a black woman helped make this vaccine." When I heard that, I was like, man, I ain't taking this shit until I absolutely have to, because that sounds like straight up COINTELPRO type shit, man. What the fuck?
I ain't even gonna front you, bro. I was waiting for Dr. Umar to come out of nowhere talking about donations. Donations. Don't believe this white man. Don't believe this misconstruement. Don't believe this misconstruement. Don't believe this misconstruement.
That was just a weird thing to say on TV, man. And like, there's better ways to cater to, let black people know rather than just, it just looked a little too blatant to me. The fact they were pushing mainly black people to be the face of the vaccine and people who need to take it. But, when I need to take it, I'll have to take it, man. Like, because I feel like this will be a thing where they make your life inconvenient if you don't take it.
Right.
Like they will make you have your COVID papers. And if you don't have it, you won't be able to go to a concert. You can't go to this and that. You're out. So until that happens, I'm gonna probably refrain. But, eventually we all going to take it. So it is what it is, man. Just give me that.
Yeah, man. I mean, heck, you need to give. I mean, they got kids. Blah. Because I was about to stutter for my babies. I need to speak to the children of the earth, of the world, who handling the earth right now. You know what I'm saying? You got to get vaccinated just to go to school. So of course they're gonna hit us with the same shit.
Yes.
But again, we're adults now, so we got a whole we gotta weaponize and politicize this shit for no damn reason. I'm like, bruh, it's okay. See, the thing about it is, in parading all these black people in front is because who has died most proportionally from this virus? Us.
True.
Who's contracted this virus? Us, right? So when you put it out there, you have, of course, your general skepticism because of we being withheld from a vaccine for the Tuskegee experiments and things of that nature. And, I'm still waiting for 2021 to come around. Not 2021. That's literally 3 weeks from. That's literally 2 weeks from now. Mm-hmm. I'm talking Monday, when Saturn and Jupiter align at the same time.
Oh no!
And I'm saying all this. Oh, you're not aware, Rockett? That's when we get our superpowers.
Oh, the superpowers. Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yes.
Person. I only saw this come from one person. Who is that person? Where are they now, man?
I don't know, but I don't know why they suggest superpowers, but I know the real thing is that these planets are going to kind of align in a weird type of way for like the first time whenever. And hey, guess what, black people? Apparently you're getting superpowers. And I'm like, you know what? If the black folks get superpowers, I need one person to get the cure for like all the diseases. Like, hey, that is your power. Don't ask for nothing else. Your power is to be the Henrietta Lacks of the 21st century and help cure all these diseases. Everybody else, wild out. Get all the weird powers you want. If it's me, give me the power to teleport so I don't have to worry about gas money for nothing else in my life. Give me that and maybe invisibility, but mainly teleportation. Teleportation, because I'm like, yo, I can easily like just go to Turks and Caicos and not have to worry about nothing. Of course, I'm a check. Of course, I'm a check. What's up?
I was gonna say the real superpower is economic empowerment, brother, and you get that by investing investing in the stocks, brother. Make your money work for you. Let's do brunch sometime. Hey. We'll talk about it.
Guys. But hey, if we do brunch, it's gotta be the Rock Nation brunch.
No, of course, the Rock Nation brunch.
Thank you.
They still gonna have the Rock Nation brunch next year too. Watch, man. They bring it.
No, okay. Look, here's how I know. All right, I'm gonna find out this week if there's really gonna be a Rock Nation brunch.
Okay.
Usually, this is when we get the invite to say, "Hey."
Wait, you went?
No.
You went to the Rock Nation brunch, nigga.
Yes, man, you went.
Wait a minute. Tell you that. I can't tell you that. I don't appear no Getty images, so therefore I can't tell you that.
Look, man. Look. Stop the music. Cut the beat off like Figgy.
Cut the beat off.
Cut the beat off.
Cut the beat off.
No. Look.
I did not look. I was not at the Rock Nation brunch. I was Rock Nation brunch adjacent. Okay. Rock Nation brunch adjacent. In that I was in LA at the same time as Rock Nation brunch. I knew somebody who went, and they were giving me the play-by-play of the whole shit like while it's going on.
Oh, okay. Well, get us
and now that person is signed
Rock Nation adjacent for his next time.
Yeah, and now that person is signed to Rock. She now is signed to Rock Nation. So hey,
shit. Well, we need our podcast on title, man. So talk to whoever you got to talk to, bro.
Yeah, shoot. Elliot Wilson just followed me, so we one step closer.
What did he follow you on the Clubhouse or on the socials
or Twitter?
One step close. We making them connects, man. We're making them connect. But okay, we have gotten way off topic, my bad. Talking about the vaccine and shit.
Yeah, back to music. We went regular podding instead of doing year-end wrap-up podding.
So we had to get that out the way because I want to talk to y'all about the vaccine anyway. But we gotta get back to the your favorite albums of the year. We'll go to you next, Figgy, man. What were you really feeling this year? What was your top picks for your favorite albums of this year?
All right, so a couple albums that come to my mind is Nas' album King's Disease. The last time Nas released the album, a lot of people didn't like it. I personally liked the Kanye album, but I understood why a lot of people didn't. So I was a little nervous when this album came out, but I thought it was dope, man. Hit Boy did this right. I think it was Hit Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a strong take for album of the year to me. What else? Another album that I really been listening to that I didn't realize I haven't really, I guess, considered as much was the Lil Uzi, the External Attack.
Yeah,
that was a pretty good album.
Was that 2020?
It was.
Yeah, that was March. That was March 2020.
Yep. And I really enjoyed that album a lot. So I find myself going back to that album. Jasmine mentioned it, Savage Mode too. I was really surprised by that album with the production on there. Metro Boomin did a lot of sampling, and of course the OG narrating it. What else? J Electronica. To me, that album, I feel like that album sounds a little better now than it did when it first dropped. I was a little critical of it at first, but now I kind of understand it, I guess. But that was one of my favorite albums. Another one, this y'all might, please don't judge me on this one, but that City Girls album is all right, man.
Okay.
Like I will give you that. I will give you the City Girls album is one of the more slept on albums of 2020.
I think so, man.
It got leaked, it got leaked and under promoted in a weird way, which is something you don't think about in 2020 in terms of albums getting leaked out like that. But nah, they had joints. Again, I think, and this is another thing about 2020, right? And I don't even mean to interrupt you, Fig, but a lot of albums you would have learned a lot more about if outside was really, really open.
That's true.
True.
I agree with that for 100%.
Yeah, but I was that City Girls album is a solid album. I'm surprised it didn't really get in the Grammy conversation. I guess maybe because it was leaked and all this other stuff, or maybe they really didn't care too much for it. But I thought it was a solid project. And then last but not least, I gotta go with Alfredo. That Freddie Gibbs, man, that's classic album. I know the last couple projects he released, I was quick to call them classic, but this one I think is definitely his best body of work so far, and one of the best albums of the year.
Okay. Yeah, honestly, my list will sound kind of similar too. So I'm gonna go to Brandon next because I know you'll have some things we haven't mentioned. Like, yeah, you're gonna go for the sleepers too. I know. So what were your favorite projects of the year, Brandon?
All right, my favorite projects go in no order. Salt, which is a band out of the UK, their album was called Untitled Black Is. They released this right as the George Floyd protests were occurring across the globe. That thing there, boy, if you want to just sit down and just be really just vibed out and just listen to like some good ass mix of R&B, world music, hip hop, and more, yeah, throw that on. That always goes. All right. I will give you this real fact. I listened to more R&B this year than I did any hip hop this year. I don't know if I was in a mood or what, but I listened to more R&B. So, I think the Giveon record, that I listen to a lot. I really like that brother. I can't wait to see what he does in the future with more people being on him. I will give you Freddie Gibbs' Alfredo, because Freddie has put out some exquisite ass rapping over the last 4 years, and now he just keep getting better and better. Lil Baby's My Turn, the deluxe edition, because you have to give flowers so we paid, even though he may or may not have allegedly paid $6,000 or more for an adult film actress. And now,
Trump. I almost forgot about that. We got to talk that too.
Yeah, there's that. I will give flowers to. Damn, there's so much. So much. I'll give flowers to 21 Savage and Metro Boomin Savage Mode 2. Rich Nigga Shit is one of my favorite records of the year. Because I think 21 and Metro find different pockets where they kind of like enjoy being around each other. It's like, yeah, this is super fucking dope. Anything else? Bueller?
The Weeknd album came out this year.
It did, but again, like I'm not. It may have been the second best Weeknd album since the first, like his first little trilogy joint. But again, I don't necessarily cut for the Weeknd super like that. But let me see. Let me go to the good old Apple Music because let me cheat for a second.
The Weeknd hasn't been the same for me since House of Balloons trilogy.
Yeah, let's just say House of Balloons. I've done some. That was a great moment in time in my life. The great moment in time in my life. Yeah, okay, I'll give you Juicy J, The Hustle Continues. That's one of my favorite albums this year.
Okay. I still gotta listen to that.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Juice Man, man. The Juice Man did some stuff. And there was one.
No Drake in there, no 2 Chainz, no Busta Rhymes, no Gunna.
Nah, I can't give it a
Gunna did come out this year. That was
he did. I can't give it a. I can't say one was one of my faves of the year.
That's one of my favorites. I enjoyed that album a lot.
Like I enjoyed it, but it wasn't like one of my favorites. And Kalani had one of my favorite albums of the year. She had one of my favorites, and then also Janae. Janae also had one of my favorite albums because I enjoyed listening to the deluxe edition, which happened to have the nastiest sister tandem ever with the On the Way remix, and I was like, oh y'all went there.
I think she really slept on
Yeah, man. So
okay.
And Pop Smoke. I was skeptical going in about Pop Smoke's album. I was real skeptical because I didn't know like how the sound was going to handle it. But then I know 50 Cent. If there's one thing 50 Cent is really goddamn good at, it is making records for radio. And when I listen to Shoot for the Stars and For the Moon, there are so many records on there that ended up going onto radio. The For the Night record with him, with Pop, Lil Baby, and The Baby goes. The Woo record with him, 50 and Roddy. Yeah, that's another one. And for Jasmine to say Slime and B, like I'm like, yeah, I can see that. But then again, the one song on there that I hear all the goddamn time is the one with the damn with the sample, the most sampled song in the history of New Orleans hip hop, that drag rap sample. Go crazy. That's the one. I hear it all the damn time. I cannot escape that record if I try.
I'm gonna let him talk. Ryan's looking like.
Okay, that's a good list. Anything else, or that about wrap it up?
That about wrap.
Okay. Like I like the R&B picks in there, man. I haven't listened to R&B seriously in a while, honestly, man. I got to get back into it.
Hey man, playlisting. That's what helped me finding not only finding good R&B, but being like, yo, yeah, I may want to use this later on down the road.
I feel like with R&B now, like it used to be shit you hear on the radio would put you on, but now it's more so I feel like either playlists or your friends be putting you on to the good
or
R&B
TV
now.
shows
or
like
TV,
shows.
So it's not so much the radio that's really putting on the good R&B these days. You really got to find it and search for it, but it's still out there, man. As far as my favorite picks, they're pretty much the same as y'all's. J Electronica's up there for me. That Lil Uzi album, of course, as well. And I was surprised by the Pop Smoke album because I wasn't really a fan. I didn't really like that mixtape. We reviewed it at the beginning of the year that he Enter the Woo Part 2. I didn't really like that mixtape. I didn't see what the hype was really, but when I heard the album, I was like, okay, this guy actually has superstar potential. So I enjoyed that album as well. One album, people gonna laugh at me for enjoying a lot, but I like the Nav album, Good Intentions, man. Like I know it wasn't really popping anywhere, But that album has some good songs, man. And I wasn't really a fan of Nav before that. He had a
Hand
song
me
with
your card.
Gunna.
Hand me your card out the nigga file.
Come on.
I need your card out the nigga file right now. I need it. Just bring it in.
Hey man,
Bring it in.
Yeah, he had Gunna on that album. Drake beef. Like, come on, man. Rap fucks with Nav, okay? Don't bully the brown boy, okay? Leave the brown boy alone. I like the Nav album, man. I don't care what y'all say. Fuck y'all. The Nav album was okay by me. I'm happy that Busta Rhymes finally released Extinction Level Event 2.
And it was good. I would grant you that. It may not be one of my faves because, you know, when you least expect it, you be just chilling, be like, it'd be 11:30. Okay, the Busta, let me throw the Busta album on. 2:15. Damn, the Busta album still going? What the fuck?
Yeah, so I was telling Figgy about this too. I think the only long-awaited album in hip-hop we have left is like Detox. And I think Dr. Dre is finally gonna make like a version of Detox now because he's having a divorce go on. I heard he's actually making a new album soon. So I think once we get Detox in some form of fashion, that'll be the end. We got the J Electronica album now. We got the original J Electronica album too that was supposed to come out years ago. So now all that's really left. We got Busta Rhymes album finally. All that's left is Dr. Dre Detox, and we'll see.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, man, good year for hip hop in general, honestly. For all the stuff people talk about this being a terrible year, and it was in a lot of respects, but musically, I feel like this is a pretty good year for hip hop. Playboi Carti allegedly dropping on Christmas.
Yeah.
Let's do a little emergency podcast for that.
Nah, I wouldn't do no emergency podcast for that. I wouldn't do no emergency podcast for that because the better version already came out, Mario Judah. I'm sorry.
What?
Yep, sure had.
What?
It happened.
Stop it, man. Stop it. So you gonna act like Die Lit wasn't a classic?
I'm not saying it wasn't. Wasn't saying it at all.
You a hater. You hating on
young
niggas, man.
I'm just saying, look, if I wanted to hear somebody yip at me for like about a good 14 minutes, I can just give Mario Judah because Mario Judah does a very good Playboi Carti imitation. But I'm gonna listen to it. Like I ain't gonna lie to you.
Okay.
I ain't gonna front and be like, I'm not gonna listen. I'm sorry. Look, as many festivals have I gone to and somebody throwing some Carti, you know what's gonna happen. Everybody gonna lose their shit. So of course I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna listen.
Okay.
Don't, just let me be funny. Let me entertain you.
I'm letting you be funny, man. I just some of these people you have spicier takes on, so I want to know why. But no, that is funny, man. But so supposedly there's some more hip hop albums dropping this year. We'll see what happens, and we will keep y'all updated on all that. So yeah, good decent year for hip hop in general. And we'll see what the Grammys be talking about when they ignore the black voices for the 100th time in a row. But
so what's y'all song of the year?
That's tough, man. I gotta look at my Spotify raps.
Okay, it's easy for me, man. That Travis Scott franchise, that's my song of the year, man.
I love that for you.
Like hell yeah.
I love that.
I love that for you. I don't love that for me personally, but I love that for you.
Yeah, that's like my number one song. Like that, I think I played that song the most this year out of any other song.
And it just dropped not too long ago, like a couple months ago.
Exactly. Yeah. But man, that song to me, that should be the song of the year to me. I feel like people don't really play it as much, but to me,
it kind of came and went, to be honest, for a Travis Scott song too.
Yeah, and I know I'm being biased because I personally like that song, but man, that song still go hard. I still play it like crazy to this day.
Y'all see he released the actual drink, the cacti hard seltzer that he's coming out with next year. I'm so excited.
He's peddling alcohol too.
No White Claws and Trulies for me.
Are you getting a PS5 too, just because Travis Scott advertised?
I ain't gonna lie, I looked it up, but
oh my god, Jasmine gonna have a PS5 collecting dust while little kids can't get one for Christmas. You gonna have one collecting dust just because Travis Scott got one. He was advertising for it. So okay,
I love him. He's so great.
I think if we're talking in general and not just our personal opinion, the song of the year had to be WAP. Right? What song was bigger this year than that? I think WAP or WAP, however you want to say it, has to be the song of the year in general in terms of what got the most play, what got the most controversy. You have fucking Fox News anchors talking about this song, man. Yeah. Not since Doggy Style have I heard a album be so controversial in the mass media, really.
And it even made Snoop Dogg seem old.
It did.
Snoop Dogg don't ever seem old to me, but he seemed old. I was like, oh, not you, Snoop.
You know what, man? I'm sick of Snoop Dogg. I gotta say it, man. I'm sick of Snoop Dogg.
Become a rant.
I gotta get a Snoop rant off real quick, man. I'm getting sick of Snoop Dogg. Like, I think he's funny. I enjoyed him on the Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. commentary. I think he's entertaining still. But as far as his opinions, he is the most flip-floppy ass nigga in the history of niggadom. Like, he changed his mind on everything. Just a few weeks ago, like, he was talking all this shit about Eminem, about how Eminem's not in his top 5 and shit. But when Eminem was on top of the world, Snoop was praising Eminem to the heavens. And now he want to talk like, now since it's cool to be more pro-black, he want to be like, well, Eminem ain't all that great. He ain't in that top 5. Like, keep the same energy, dog. Eminem dissed him on his album, apparently, because of that. And even though I'm not a big fan of Eminem, I kind of see his point, you know, like, this dude is from your camp. He made you relevant again, in a way. So, I didn't really feel that. And then this whole thing about him criticizing Cardi B, talking about how WAP is too vulgar and women got to leave more to the imagination. Nigga, you make Doggy Style. There were congressional hearings about the album Doggy Style, dog. When legislators were talking about how misogynistic this album was, how vulgar it was, how it was destroying the youth. And we as Black people supported Snoop. We said, nah, let that man make his art. This shit bangs, it rides. Who cares? The content is entertainment. We rolled for Snoop when he was getting killed by all these black congressmen too. Like, black people were getting on his ass. Yeah. Man. Old black people were saying Snoop Dogg's album is terrible for the youth. And now he's turning around saying the same shit about Cardi B for an album that's not even as bad as Doggy Style, honestly.
I can't believe I'm doing this. I can't believe I'm about to defend Snoop on this particular subject.
Oh, no. Go ahead. Tell us why WAP is too vulgar.
Well, see, here's the thing. WAP is not too vulgar. As somebody who grew up on Ain't No Fun and grew up on a lot of Too Short and a lot of Ludacris and a lot of Mystical. Again, the man started off the song called I Came With My Dick in My Hand. I'm sorry, sir. This is a Whataburger. Chill the fuck out. We don't need you doing all that right now. So Snoop is 49 years old, right? Now, I don't know if you've been in any establishment with somebody who is over 35, 40 years old. Listen to how they react when Ain't No Fun comes on. Listen to how they react when Freaky Tales by Too Short comes on.
Yep.
Now listen to how they react by City Girls, Cardi, Meg. It's a generation. It's a real generational disconnect there. It's weird when it's our heroes, the people who kind of start off the vulgarness, kind of having the realization. But I think it's just a real societal thing in some aspects. Like, you literally will be chilling, just, doing what you do, and then Ain't No Fun come on, you getting up and dancing, right? Because you're about, of that age. But then say, oh, I don't know, Theodotus Early's Stand Up In It comes on. You're like, oh, what the why? What? No. And Jasmine, I don't know if you've ever heard of Stand Up In It, but Stand Up In It is a old juke joint record. And basically the song goes along the lines of, hey, you are not really fucking that woman unless you are standing up in it and just deep fucking that woman.
Look that up. I've definitely never heard of that.
Stand Up In It is nasty. Don't tell me it ain't, mama.
I don't know what you talking about, man. I don't listen. You don't listen.
You sure you don't know what? All right, look.
Don't go on Pornhub. I don't listen to music like that, sir. Excuse me. I'm a pure man. I'm professional. I do not look at porn or music.
It was Trish Stratus' birthday yesterday, Ryan. What did you do?
I don't know who that is. Who's Trish Stratus? I don't know who that is. I only know nice Christian women. I don't know who you're talking about. But anyway.
Point is, it's just a general disconnect. Of course, as Snoop said if he was 21, 22, in this era now, he probably would have hopped on a remix, which he definitely would have. But you know, hearing it, it's jarring for some people, right? Only because of, again, your age and what you've seen and what you've done, and now the subject matter is a little bit, you know, it's a bit more up there. It's more blatant to the point. Now, again, that's Snoop tapping into his old nigga. I'm not gonna front you on that, because again, I'm 32. I hear WAP. The first time I heard it, I was literally making faces at my computer screen because I was like, "Oh, whoa!" And then the video, because again, the video dropped the same time, and then also, it is alleged that certain radio stations couldn't play the song, which also made it like, okay, why? What is in this song when you can't play it? And then we heard it, and then we understood why. That's why that clean version is not really fun. Like, you need the unedited version to get the full je ne sais quoi.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
But I see your point, but to counter that, like, it's one thing for somebody who's not in music or is not an artist to have that opinion of my generation's music was better, but this stuff is going too far. But being Snoop and being what he's been through, being what he's lived through,
right?
I think he should know better than to criticize people for this type of music, because he was in their shoes literally when he was going through and when he was in his prime, making these records that everybody thought was way too vulgar. Like, he's been there, and everybody who was riding against Cardi was probably riding against all these older white politicians who were saying her music is too vulgar. Probably the same ones saying shit about Snoop in '94.
Yeah.
So being as how you were in that position, you should know better in general than to go against somebody who's young and doing it.
Sometimes it's best to not even weigh in on it like that.
Yeah.
Or just lie, say, hey, it's a cool song, I don't have a problem with it.
You're doing her thing. Like, don't go against black women in 2020, man. It's not worth it. You will get destroyed.
It really ain't.
You have a burner account when you do it.
Yeah, remember Snoop kind of fucked up earlier. Remember he was weighing in on Gayle King.
Yeah.
Yes, after his ass on the red table talk, crying.
Glasses.
Oh no.
And people forget some of the wilder shit Snoop has done. Snoop went to the Video Music Awards. I think it was MTV Video Music Awards. This nigga had 2 women on leashes. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yes.
He showed up to an award show with 2 black women on leashes, and he was holding the chains.
He also promoted an adult film called
Snoop Dogg's
Doggy Style.
Yes. Cardi B got
a young woman by the name of Obsession was in one of those films. I don't know personally. I literally just saw the box art and it said her name was Obsession.
Okay, mister. I don't know what Pornhub is, but all right.
Shout out to Jake Steed on the goddamn Troy 2001.
Okay. But yeah, just like, because all the vulgar shit, this would be like some Ron Jeremy saying porn is too vulgar right now, basically, or some shit like that. Like, you are the one who is perpetuating all this shit when you were younger, and now you have this opinion because you're old and probably have daughters. I get it, but don't say it. Don't go on the radio and say it. Say it in your own home if you want, but don't say it, because you still have influence, Snoop. You still an OG in the game, so ain't no need for all that shit. But I digress. We were talking about best song of the year. Do y'all have any other candidates you want to bring up? Or you said franchise, Figgy. Jasmine, what's your favorite song of the year?
That's really hard for me, and I don't know if I'm copping a plea here, because I don't know. I don't want to.
What have you listened to most? Like, there has to be one song you listen to most, probably over and over again. A Janae Aiko song about.
Honestly, the thing is, the song that I've listened to the most this year did not come out this year, and then it was a Nipsey Hussle song.
Okay.
It was I Don't Stress, because it's a fucking classic. So I don't consider that to be the song of 2020, but that is the song that I listened to the most this year, I would say.
Okay.
I did listen to a lot of Nipsey this year, hence the.
Okay, I see the Nipsey Hussle shirt. I like it. Brandon, you have any other picks for song of the year? Or
I will say most impactful song of the year is definitely WAP. In terms of favorite songs, is still Hustle and Motivate is still one of my favorite songs ever. It's tatted in my skin, so I can't like let go of that song ever if I wanted to. But then I think I listened to more songs this year off straight researching. So like Doobie Ashtray by Devin the Dude was one of my favorite songs this year. Outkast and Stankonia was one of my favorite albums. Spotty Yachty Dopalicious by Outkast, which if you play the horns on Spotty Yachty, that's what love sounds like to me. One Way Flight with Benny and Freddie Gibbs is one of my favorite songs this year, only because of Clipper slander, and also they both got busy. Like Benny and Freddie, whenever they drop tracks together, they go in. Oh Lord, Lil Wayne's BB King freestyle with Drake, that was one of my favorites. Big Sean and Jhené Aiko Body Language was definitely one of my favorites. Jhené Aiko's On the Way remix was definitely one of my favorites. And what else? Lil Baby's We Paid. That was a solid one for me. And give me one more, Brandon. What's up?
I'm sorry, not to cut you off. Casey Top by NBA Youngboy was my bad. Yes.
There's my one. Thank you. Make No Sense by Youngboy. That's one of my favorite songs of this year. I finally got in. I finally got into Youngboy this year. I finally understood. I was trying to be along the lines of barbershops across the country that keep it on YouTube all damn day, because NBA Youngboy's #1 market, YouTube. The most watched artist on YouTube, Youngboy. So therefore, I was like, this got to make sense to me. So therefore, hey, Youngboy, I get it now. I fully buy into it.
Okay. I respect it. I respect the picks. So yeah, that about does it musically for the year 2020. Like I said, I thought it was a pretty good year musically. What's that?
And I said, now let's get into the fuckery of 2020.
Yeah, of course. We got to break down.
I'm like, I feel like we need an Elder Scroll. That's how big this goddamn is.
Y'all got to fill in some things, because I wrote this pretty quickly. And I mainly just focused on the beginning months, because there was some stuff I forgot, because everybody knows this year has felt longer than usual. In terms of all this shit that's happened, all the shit we've been dealing with in the world and current events. Baby. So I'm gonna start at the beginning. I'm gonna start in January, when everything was supposedly rosy and good. We were going into a new decade. The 2020s, the roaring 20s were back, people were saying. And we didn't realize it was like the bad version of the 20s with the fucking Great Depression and shit. But the roaring 20s was back.
Hey, Rocky, to be fair, now you see why people got dressed up and started just going out like in suits and ties for no damn reason during the roaring 20s, because they had a whole pandemic in 1918 and 1919.
Yeah, that's true. There was a pandemic. Yeah, a lot of stars aligned for 1920 and 2020 somehow. But so yeah, we start off the year, and right out the gate, David Stern died on January 1st.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was January 1st?
Yes,
yeah.
January 1st,
Damn,
David Stern died. Yeah, I forgot that happened this year.
Me too. Damn.
But yeah, David Stern died on the 1st. And this is Houston specific here, January 13th. The Astros sign-stealing punishment comes down. The whole commissioner's report gets published. And the official punishment was suspending AJ Hinch and Jeff Luhnow for the year. They end up getting fired, and they detailed the entire thing about what happened. Of course, the fans were outraged. Fucking LA Dodgers were pissing their pants, talking about how they should give up the MVP award, all this shit. So right out the gate, it was bad for Houston sports. It's about to get a little worse too, but that comes a little later. And of course, sadly, on the 26th, what we thought was going to be the most shocking thing that happened this year, Kobe Bryant passed away, him and his daughter and several friends, in a tragic plane accident. So yeah, tough start for the roaring 20s, as we called it. And let's talk about the Kobe thing real quick, because I kept seeing people talk about how it didn't seem real, like even months after the fact. So how do y'all feel about, like, I know, of course, you know, it's a tragic death still, but have y'all accepted it now? Does it feel like, okay, this actually happened, he's gone? Or are you still kind of in a state of disbelief about Kobe Bryant's death?
It still doesn't feel real. I was in LA like that morning. I can remember it 100%. It was foggy as hell. The night before was just it was just glowingly beautiful, dope, right? We literally just watched the Sixers play the Lakers, and Bron just passed Kobe for third all time on scoring. Yeah. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna go to sleep, just get ready because I'm getting ready for the Grammys, all this type of third, right? It's that part wasn't even a flex. It's just that's how the story goes. So then I get a TMZ alert on my phone, and I'm like, "You bullshit." I put on Twitter, dog, that TMZ alert can't be real. Because I started cutting on TV channels because I'm in LA. My local news in LA got this story. They gotta have the story. And then it slowly started trickling out on social media. You started seeing the reactions. I was like, holy shit. And then I went down to I called my homie who was in LA too, and he was like, yo, like we just found out at the bar, everybody's crying. Like everybody's stuck. It felt for like a good 4-5 minutes, it felt like the world just froze and everybody was just stuck in this emotion, right? And so I called my homeboys at the Staples Center. He's like, dog, it feels like a morgue in here. Nobody knows what to say. And so that whole day, like I'm going through, just riding through LA. I see nothing but purple and gold. I see Staples Center literally turns into a virtual, like just set up for a mural. It still doesn't feel right. It just don't. And then when I got back to town on the 27th, and then just kind of like it sat with it for a little bit, it's just like, nah, bro, like he's going in the Hall of Fame this year, bro. Like Gianna's gonna be the one that's gonna be the second generation that is ill as fuck as a basketball player, right? It's gonna be all these different things. Like he's evolving as a man outside of the game, and it's like for a lot of people, you finally got to enjoy like Kobe Bryant. Like that's the biggest thing about it. Like I remember so much like people hated Kobe because he used to kill their teams on the court, or they hated Kobe because of the sexual assault case in Colorado, or they just hated Kobe because he was such a driven person on that court and wanted everybody to line up with him the same way like Michael Jordan. And now it's like, bro, I miss that asshole. I miss Kobe. And it still doesn't feel real. And everything that's happened afterwards, even with his mother-in-law trying to sue for like over some dump. I'm like, bro, like I knew it was gonna happen, but I didn't think it was gonna be that shady. I was like, oh, come on, man. That's just grimy. Like how do you sue your daughter because you say you were a babysitter and she's basically been a stay-at-home mom since she got married to Kobe 20 years ago? Like what is this? So all in all, I miss Bean. I wanted it not to be real when I saw it. It still doesn't feel real. But then again, I think what happened was, for a brief moment in time, we would stop arguing with legends. The LeBron Kobe debate was done. And then a week later, niggas got right back to the argument. I'm like, y'all can't even be on one accord for this.
Nah, I feel the same shit happened with Chadwick Boseman too. We'll talk about that a little bit later because everybody was talking about how we not gonna talk crazy or insult people because they felt guilty about what they said about him, and that never sticks, man. Niggas
It never does stick. By the way, I don't know if you've seen Ma Rainey's Black Bottom on Netflix yet, but give him.
I heard it's good.
Give him the Post Oscar now. I don't know if he's best supporting or best lead actor, but there are 2 monologues in that movie alone that's like, yo, give it to him now.
Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna get something. Jasmine, it looked like you wanted to say something too, though. What was does it feel real to you now, or?
Yeah, no, I was gonna mention that. Like, I remember Figgy was actually the first person that said it that gave me the news. I remember him posting it in the group, and I was like, I don't believe you. Like, I was so like, Figgy, whatever. Like, and because I remember he posted I think he posted that Kobe had died. Then he posted the TMZ link. And when I went to go look for it, that link was broken. And now, now obviously we know why, all the controversy behind it, but that link was broken. It wasn't working. And I was just like, whatever, I don't believe this. And I was so like off-putting to what Figgy was trying to say. And I really felt away by it. And I'm not even that huge of a Kobe fan. So to see that and be so put off by it, and then to learn that it was real was just like, wow. And then that definitely just his impact on the whole world. Because like Brandon mentioned, I was definitely one of the people that wasn't always the biggest Kobe fan. And I'm not even going to front and stunt like now because he's passed, I am. But I do recognize his impact. I do recognize like what he's done and his arrogance and why it was the way that it was. So, and seeing that through his daughter and just learning about, the legacy that he did build, because I wasn't the biggest Kobe fan. So I still think it's unreal. I still think, friends and good, like, family members that like Kobe, they grew up with Kobe. Kobe was a, like, I don't know if it's cliche to say, but he was legit a father figure to some people. So I think, that was huge. I think that was very, it's still shocking. And like Brandon mentioned again, like just the whole lawsuit of, I don't understand people. In this time, especially, like, I just don't understand how you could be so ugly like that to your family, to your daughter. Like the pain that she's still going through, I just don't understand why you would even fix your mouth or fix yourself to do something like that. But I don't know.
Vanessa and Kobe had parents, but had problems with both their parents, and I don't think we really understand the reason why. But I think at some point they cut off their parents completely. Yeah. Especially Kobe. Everybody knows about the controversy he had about, I guess his family was trying to sell some stuff from him a while ago, and he just completely cut them off. So I don't know the whole story about that, so I can't really comment. That's a family.
I can tell you. Basically, they were trying to sell some of his old memorabilia from high school and make money off it. And he was like, no. Like, why would y'all do that?
But the question is, why would they feel the need to do that? Was it because I guess they hadn't got, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe at one point he was giving them money so they wouldn't have to work or something, and then he stopped. Or I don't know what happened. I don't know the backstory between why they decided to sell his stuff when, like, he's like, why would you do that? It's your son's memorabilia. Why would you do that? So I don't know. Maybe the parents are just tripping. Maybe some shit happened that we don't know about.
Yeah.
But
it was grimy. It is grimy all the way around. It's almost as if, like, say you did something amazing and all of a sudden Rocky, your sister, wanted to like sell some of your stuff without it being written into something you wanted, right?
Yeah.
You feel a type of way. Even in death, you probably still haunt your sister like, why are you doing this?
True.
Put it down. Put my Super Nintendo down.
I do think the thing, and it's all speculation, I guess, but I think Kobe's parents never approved of Vanessa Bryant, because if you remember, Vanessa Bryant was a video vixen when she met Kobe. She was in the Snoop Dogg G'd Up video.
Yep, she was.
Yeah, and that's how she met Kobe. Kobe was on set that day when she was there, and I'm sure his parents probably felt a way about their superstar, soon-to-be superstar NBA player dating a woman from a music video set. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not saying that's, like, of course, she seems like a good woman, and she doesn't seem like a gold digger at all. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know what the issue is with his parents and all that stuff. But it's unfortunate that it goes that way. But Figgy, you got to get your take too, man. So does it feel real now, or does it still kind of feel?
It still don't feel real, man. Like, I think about that day almost every day. Because I remember sitting there, I was on the couch watching ESPN. For some reason, I was watching the Pro Bowl, and
that was that day.
Yeah, so I was chilling, and I was getting ready to go to the Royal Rumble was that same night. So I was sitting there chilling, and I'm looking on Twitter.
And that was the same as a Wale concert too.
Yeah, because I'm sitting there like I'm on Twitter. I'm like, wait, what the? Like, everybody was saying, "Oh my God, not Kobe." No, Kobe. I'm just seeing a stream of tweets. I'm like, what the? I'm like, this can't be real. And then I end up seeing the TMZ tweet, and that's when I sent it in the group chat. But I'm looking on, mind you, I'm still watching the Pro Bowl, and ESPN did not bring it up at all. So I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, do they need to confirm this or something? Mm-hmm. I'm like, social media going crazy right now, and ESPN sitting there talking to Deshaun Watson. at the Pro Bowl. So I'm like, man, like something ain't right. And I want to say maybe like 20 minutes later, that's when they cut that shit off. And then they just went straight up Kobe. And I'm like, man, this, like, I couldn't even believe it. My wife was shocked. My wife don't watch sports like that, but that death hurt her. And to be honest, I wasn't a Kobe fan at all. I couldn't stand the Lakers. Still can't really stand the Lakers, but for some reason, I felt like I lost one of my best friends, one of my best players. It seemed like it was way too early. It seemed like he was just starting to dip off in something else, something away from sports, away from the I don't want to say away from the NBA, but it seemed like he was starting to do his own thing. He just won won an Oscar or a Grammy.
He won an Oscar a few years ago.
Yeah. So it seemed like he was dipping off in something else. We were starting to see we starting to see life after Kobe. And for something like this to happen. And then when I seen the report that his kids was in there too, that's when I really lost. I'm like, no, not his whole family. But then the reports came out later that it was him and Gigi. But even just the whole thought of him and Gigi and being in that helicopter, man, that hurt a lot, man, because you could tell she was just like him. You could tell that was his unofficial twin. He trained her like crazy to be great, and I kid you not, she probably would have been in the WNBA at some point.
Oh, busting ass, son.
Yeah. You could tell he was gonna make her a star. So just to see it all go down like that, man, it was so sad. Like at that, if I could cancel the year at that point, I would have. But man, it still hurt, man. Like Brandon said earlier, it was his eligibility year for the Hall of Fame, and I don't care how you feel about Kobe, it would have been good to see him walk across that stage.
Because he tells like some A1 basketball stories. So like with his like psychotic mind and remembering the game, it's like and a lot of people. I mean, you can say what you want about Jordan, but I feel like a lot of younger people respect Kobe respect him a little more than they do Jordan as far as like personality, because I don't know, Kobe relate to the younger people more than Jordan a little more old fashioned, but it seemed like everybody relate more to Kobe than they did to Jordan as far as like the players. Because you gotta look at this generation, that is their Jordan. For our generation of folks in their late 20s, early 30s, is Kobe. Like, if you don't have like an idea of like what Michael Jordan looked like, you're like, our initial look of Michael Jordan for a lot of people was that last 3P from 96 to 98. Like, I can remember tonight, like my earliest Jordan memory, I would say, is I think the 92 finals against the Blazers and then the Bulls in 93. And I remember the Bulls in 93 because of I was at my uncle's mom's house. We were watching that final. So I remember that, right? But for a lot of people, we watched the whole career. We watched the missed shots in Utah. We watched him busting the Mavs for 60 and 3/4. We watched 81. I still wish 81 was on like a decent like HD channel when it dropped, because it's still like, you know what I'm saying? But that's one of them ones. That is definitely one of them ones. And the weirdest part is, you know how long 2020 has been? Lil Wayne dropped an album at the top of this year.
Yeah. And I remember I actually liked that album a lot. At least the first half of it.
Mahogany was that joint off that album too.
Mahogany is one of Lil Wayne's best songs, maybe. Like, he is rapping his ass off on that. So I still play that song to this day, man. That song is crazy. I think that album is kind of underrated. I think partly because of all the shit that was going on, especially with Kobe's death. Maybe people didn't feel like bumping it, but I thought that was pretty underrated, man. But yeah, I agree with everything y'all said. I wasn't the biggest Kobe fan either, but it also impacted me. When you grow up with somebody as big as him and he passes away, it was, of course, very, very traumatic for everybody, man. It sucked. And I remember the podcast we did that week, we did it in studio. We had Jasmine, Figgy, myself, and Brandon Scott there. Now I remember, because I actually went back and listened to it a little bit. I remember me saying, this will be the biggest thing that happened this year, unless something absolutely crazy and insane happens.
Yo, you know what's wild, Rocky? Remember the first week of 2020? We almost thought we would be in World War III with Iran.
Yes. World War III was trending. Yeah. We thought, I was like, okay, nothing's going to top Kobe passing away this year unless something completely insane happens. And of course, that actually did happen this year. But we're going to get into that pretty soon. So Kobe's death left a heart. The whole nation was in pain, man. Going into February, the whole Roaring 20s debate and discussion and the memes have gone away now. We're kind of down on
2020 vision.
Yes.
I'm glad that got ended real quick.
Yeah. All the positive memes about the year have gone away. But now I think people are starting to think, okay, things can only go up from here, right? Right? They can only go up from Kobe dying, right? Well,
not so fast, my friend.
Yes. In February, the World Health Organization officially names the coronavirus. It's called COVID-19.
Lord. Hey, Rocket, you want to say something weird? So I pick up a copy of the Los Angeles Times the day after Kobe passed. A side, Kobe. Turn the page. Coronavirus in Japan, coronavirus in China likely to spread to other countries. Yeah. And I was like, coronavirus? Well, dang, China got to deal with something crazy. Okay, flip page, more Kobe. Little did we know that.
Yeah, that was a premonition of things to come. It swept through China, of course. It went through Italy very hard. In February, I think everybody was cognizant of the coronavirus, but I think we were all, and you could check the media too. People were generally saying it's not a big deal. It's just like the flu. We shouldn't have to lock down or wear masks. The media's, and this is what I don't like about the media, man. Like, y'all got to accept when y'all fuck up too, because everybody, I'm not here to defend Trump at all, but Trump's response in the beginning was not that much different than most of the media telling us that this shit wasn't a big deal when it was happening. And then when it came through, everybody say, well, it's the president's fault. He should have taken it more seriously. No, the media should have taken it more seriously too. But that I digress. Anyway, so in March is when shit really gets real. Okay, in March is when shit really starts to go sideways for the rest of this year. In March 11th, the NBA officially suspended the season after Nurkic. Who got it first? Who was
Rudy Gobert?
Gobert, that's right. Yep. Rudy fucking Gobert. After trolling the media press conference and touching all the mics and basically fucking around in the locker room trying to spread it. Yeah. He actually spread the coronavirus through the locker room. Donovan Mitchell got it too. And that night, the NBA suspended the season, which was the most drastic thing in relation to the virus that's happened at that point. And I remember this vividly as well.
Yeah, because remember 2019, the NBA's big thing dealing with was Daryl Morey sending a tweet about China.
Yes, I forgot that happened too. I should have brought that up in more bad local news for Houston. The China tweet happened too. But so I remember this vividly too, because on March 14th, we had our last Gyms and Juice studio podcast. We had our special guest. Who was that? Yes, Fat Tony was our special guest that day. And I remember we had got him. We had a great time. We were drinking and shit. And at the end of the interview, Fat Tony asked us, he's like, how serious do y'all think this coronavirus thing is really? And I told him, man, like, it looks bad. They shut down Italy completely at that point. There was footage of people fucking being on complete lockdown, people filling up hospitals and shit. And I'm like, this shit's gonna come here. Yeah. So I was predicting it to be bad. I didn't know how bad it would get, but things got very bad. Of course, shortly after that, we shut down the entire nation. The rodeo got canceled.
Did we really shut down though?
Yeah, we shut down, man.
Did we?
Dog, okay, nothing was open except grocery stores and liquor stores.
And niggas stealing all the fucking toilet paper.
Toilet paper and paper towels.
Toilet paper was hard to come by.
It still is. Like, here's my question, bro. Like, when was that? Like, why was that such a big thing? Like, why was, of all things, toilet tissue?
I think there was some kind of, I don't know how it happened, but some kind of social media thing happened where people said that we're gonna run out of toilet paper or some shit.
Yeah, I think what it is too. I feel like whenever you say lockdown, we need to be on lockdown. They think of all the shit you need, like toilet paper, paper towels, and soap, and all this other shit. So people just go crazy with that since they feel like they're gonna, I guess, be in the house for until they don't know when. So let's stock up on the toilet paper.
Well, and to be fair to Brandon's point too, like I guess our lockdown was a lot softer than other countries. You know, I don't think Atlanta ever shut down. I don't think they ever even closed the strip clubs there.
Did you see the party Mulatto was having?
Yeah, everybody
sharing the bottles, and I'm like, man, I seen that. I'm like, I hope this is old.
Nah, here's what's bad about the Mulatto party. They were sharing drinks. I was like, okay, wait a second, y'all. This is not the hookah. Like, that's why they have different tips for hookah.
Yeah,
y'all doing a little too much. Now, I will say this: the party did look fun. I mean, it was like a little Roaring 20s type deal. You know, I knew a few people who went. I was like, ooh, this is
and celebrities are making me sick, man. Because y'all, okay, if y'all want to party and have fun,
don't tell us.
Not even just that. Like, it's fine if you want to do your own thing. I understand it. But I better not catch you lecturing us on what we better not be doing politically, socially, whatever. If you out here in a pandemic doing it big for your birthday party or album release party or whatever. Because time and time again, we've seen a lot of celebrities, and they always issue the apology the next day. Like,
always notes app.
Yeah, the notes app comes out.
They the Kardashians like completely canceled their Christmas party that they normally do because of Corona. But
wait, nah, that's bull. How many parties did they have this year?
That's what I'm saying. That's what that was like the controversy behind it. Like, y'all canceled.
It's like we finally guilted you into doing the right thing. Again, my thing has always been this, bro. Like, and this is what celebrity has taught me a lot in 2020. If you do something, cool. Guess who you don't have to include in that? Me. I don't need to know that. Cardi B, if you want to spend 88 grand for a goddamn ugly ass purse, do that shit. What you don't have to do is tweet about it and ask your fans this, because your fans are not your friends. Your fans are your fans. That is the main thing. Secondly, if you go and party, here's what's gonna happen, bro. Somebody's gonna snitch tag you on IG, James Harden. Somebody's going to snitch. Somebody's literally going to snitch on you, and you can't really do nothing about it. So you know what? Just stay home, bro. Just stay home. Like, you want to bring people for Thanksgiving? Cool, do that. Don't take no pictures, no video, no nothing. Have a Thanksgiving like you would have it in 1987.
That's
all the Polaroids after the fact.
And I'm on the same way as I was about the mask. Because I was like, okay, you can't have, like, either all of us have to wear a mask or none of us do, in my opinion. It makes no sense to have it suggested and then try to shame people for not, like, either mandated or don't. Eventually got to that point where you have to wear a mask in enter buildings at all.
Yeah, but even in that, shit, it still became politicized.
Yeah.
Like, it really shouldn't have. How we handle this pandemic.
It was bad, man.
From top to bottom. I have never known a government to say make it enough and also claim this to be the richest country in the nation, in the world.
$600 fucking stimulus, yeah.
You had to survive $1,200 off one stimulus check.
Yeah.
From April till December.
But that's the fucked up thing too, because the lockdowns, businesses that are closed, but these politicians are still taking their monthly vacations, and like, it's rules for thee and not for me, basically. And I don't like that. Either we lock down or we not. And if we not, everything should be open. Like, either you're gonna shut everything down or everything is open. We can't be no half step in this bullshit, man. But
sorry, but again, Rockett, we are a half stepping ass country, as you've seen. That's
true. But we either we got to go full in ignorant, or full out and lock it down. But you're right. We are a half-stepping ass country. But anyway, more things that happened in March. We digressed a little bit. Our last studio appearance of the Jim the Juice podcast was March 14th. After that, we're locked down, is somewhat, quote unquote. Can't go nowhere. Everything's closed. Jobs are being lost. And this is the time when the Verzuz battles start. Verzuz and Quarantine Radio both started on March 24th. And I believe the first Verzuz battle was Swizz Beatz and Timbaland, right?
Yeah, it was Swizz Beatz and Timbaland, and it was the bootleg version because Swizz was playing music from his car, Timbaland was playing music from his studio, and it was like, oh, this is fun. Because you know what it reminded me of? That battle between Swizz and Just Beatz. Just Blaze. I'm saying Just Beatz. I got them together. I still do not believe. I still can't remember how exactly Just Blaze lost. But then I realized,
why he lost though, right? Because Swizz played that one song, that unreleased Jay-Z Nas
DMX record, that he still has not put out.
Still didn't put that out, man. That been like 3 years.
Yeah, so that was the beginning of Verzuz. That's still going on today. We actually have one coming up soon with the Too Short and E40. So yeah, it's still going strong. That turned into a whole brand for them. So good for that. Quarantine Radio didn't really have the same success, unfortunately, because of what he allegedly.
Hold on a second. Quarantine Radio was a strong success in the beginning of the pandemic.
It was.
To which even Boosie had a somewhat own version because Boosie came up with the amazing concept of put your vagina lips on live
and he got banned.
And got banned by Mark Zuckerberg. And to this day has still wanted to get his goddamn account back and has not gotten his account back because the way Boosie uses Instagram 9 times out of 10 is how any influencer uses Instagram. He gets paid to post stuff.
Yeah.
I feel for Boosie sometimes. I really do.
Man, he dug his own grave, man. Come on. He knew what the fuck he was doing, putting porn on Instagram. I don't feel bad for him.
Yeah, and the invention of demon time and actual demon time on Instagram.
Yes. Yeah, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, but again, Tory Lanez kind of set the blueprint, and it was a dope little blueprint. It was dope. You had random people. He came on like an announcer from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
It was dope.
Quarantine.
Yeah. Little did we know how this year would end for Tory Lanez.
Little did we know that.
Really?
Little did we know that.
Went from top 5 to not mention at all. Unfortunate, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Also,
we're just in March.
Yes, we're still only in March.
Yeah.
Bill Withers died on March 30th. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Bill Withers died.
That hurt.
Yeah, so R.I.P. Bill Withers, man. April, I think we were all just fucking zombies throughout the entire month, man.
I celebrated the birthday in quarantine. That's how I realized, this is different.
Yeah.
Trust me, I had my own little brunch party. I made my own true kitchen. I had brunch. It was I had on my brunch hat and my little brunch fit, my chains out and everything, but I had on basketball shorts underneath. So basically it was almost like a Zoom meeting. I looked presentable up here, but down below, nope.
Brandon,
April was my birthday too. April 22nd.
April what?
4th.
Oh, okay. My birthday's April 14th.
Yeah, me and Rockett are Aries, so yeah, we just make these.
No, I'm Taurus.
What?
Not that I give a shit.
What line of the game do you fall on, Rockett? What you mean? What day is your birthday, brother?
April 22nd.
Oh yeah, you and my cousin got the same birthday. Okay,
yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah.
Go on, continue.
So whatever that means. But I don't even remember what I did for my birthday. I don't even remember. I guess I just chilled out. There was nothing to do.
I think you went to work because we actually sent you a salad.
Oh yeah, that's right. Y'all got me some food. That's right.
Yeah,
I remember that. So yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, it was a regular ass day for me, man. So yeah, April was a fucking daze. I don't think much really happened in terms of we're just zombies going through this fucking pandemic and this quarantine shit. So yeah, tough month, April. May, things got little heated up, man. Little Richard died on May 9th. To begin the month, R.I.P. Little Richard. Honestly, I thought he had been dead. I'm not gonna. Honestly, I had no idea Little Richard was still alive. I'm not gonna lie. But R.I.P. Little Richard. And of course, at the end of the month, we had the killing of George Floyd, which really turned everything on its head, man. We had a lot of protests going on. We had y'all were there. Y'all know.
Yeah,
a whole lot of shit going on.
I attended a few. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me present this to the panel. Do y'all think that the so-called promises about the post George Floyd, because a lot of companies were making the social media posts about the NFL is making these whole new initiatives to support Black people and Black communities. The NBA is doing the same thing. All these companies were posting images on their social media accounts talking about RIP George Floyd, Black Lives Matter. Now that we are at the end of the year, several months removed from this incident, do you think that anything has really changed in America? We'll start with you, Jasmine. Do you think anything has really changed as a result of the death of George Floyd?
It's hard to say. I think that mentalities of Black people that are still in tune have changed. I think the song that Black people are singing is a little different. I think the unification is where we're lacking in certain areas. But as far as the world itself, it's hard to say. It's hard to say that anything has progressed. I won't say that nothing's changed, but it's hard to see the progression right now. I do think that there are efforts being made for those that just weren't posting on Black Tuesday and posting the hashtag to begin with. So those that were really on the foreground, those that really took it seriously from jump, I think there is change. I do see I don't know if it's just me, but certain, even people of other races, some people are kinder. They're just kinder. They're just more friendlier. Like I do feel like people did kind of shift in a bit if you're willing to see the change. But at the same time, there's still a lot of progress to make. So it's hard to say exactly.
I feel you. Figgy, what about you, man? Do you think anything's really changed?
I think it did. I think the whole tone of the whole Black Lives Matter and all that stuff, I think it did change. Because remember, we've been screaming this since Trayvon Martin? Yeah. And for some reason, it wasn't getting out there on mainstream media. You know what I mean? You maybe had the Miami Heat, do a photo shoot, dedicated to Trayvon Martin, but you never had, like, this stuff never really spilled into sports. You know what I mean? Like you see how they did with Colin Kaepernick. They kind of shut him down and they just kept it moving. But for some reason, this George Floyd, it felt different. We said it I mentioned it to you on the podcast when it happened. For some reason, this death seemed different. Like, it's eye-opening. Where you had people like a JJ Watt who would never, dip in that water, who said it was disgusting. And that's when it trickled on down. And I felt like it did. I felt like it did open people up into the conversation, I guess, just to even have that conversation. But to me, the bad part about it is you start getting more ignorant opinions about it, and it's just to me, I felt like that was the one time we could see that was the one time where we could actually get people on the same page to try to hear where we're coming from. And to me, to answer your question, I don't think that happened. I feel like people, to me, that situation proved that people are stuck in their ways. It's not about, maybe they just don't know or they don't understand. And like this during this pandemic shows you that you could explain to people how much, I guess, of a problem this is in this country, and they still don't want to understand it. So I think it's kind of both ways. I think it did change the way people think now. It bled into sports. You see how the NBA did the whole Black Lives Matter on the court and all this other stuff, because I don't think it would have never happened if it wasn't for the George Floyd situation. But I I don't want to say it created a big change to it though, because to me it seemed like it just created more arguments.
Yeah, I feel where you're coming from too, man. So Brandon, you were at the protest. You were at Ground Zero. You were at the funeral as well for George Floyd. So you were at Ground Zero when a lot of this shit was transpiring. So what are your thoughts on this, at several months removed from the George Floyd killing? Do you think anything has changed in this nation, honestly?
Outside of a whole bunch of Black Lives Matter plazas and people not understanding the meaning behind defund the police the same way they didn't understand the meaning behind Black Lives Matter. No, I don't think a lot of things have necessarily changed, but I also think change takes time. But also I think we are people who want and deserve radical change, and the powers that be would rather have incremental change. I think that what the NBA did, whether it be George Floyd, God dang it, what's the dude who got shot in
Jacob
Blake? Yeah,
Jacob Blake.
Between Jacob Blake and them basically leveraging their power to say, nah, like must say, y'all gonna do something, and we actually play this out. We need y'all to have voting set up in all stadiums in the league. I think again there have been little things that have changed. The concentration on voting, the fact that everybody saw George Floyd's unfortunate killing, mainly because of the fact that we're all at the house, so you couldn't avoid it whatsoever. I also think that it basically, you had people who usually you would like disagree with on the subject and disagree with on the situation. Like they're like, no, they fucked up. They fucked up. But then you still saw, I think what a lot of people also realized was people have a playbook now for these things. And in particular, if somebody of color dies, that if they die, they're going to find all these different things to blame them for why they died. And you had this also happen in February with the Ahmaud Arbery, because that was February and we didn't know about that per se till April, right? So then you have that, and then literally in May, that literally 2 weeks before George Floyd, is Breonna Taylor. So you have all this cavalcade of different, Black death, and you're literally like, bruh, I'm tired. I'm like, I'm tired. I'm cooped up in the house as is over this virus. I need to scream. I need to vent. I need people to hear me. And have things changed? I say yes and no. Little things we've gotten accomplished here and there. I would say that two things between George Floyd and the handling of this virus is what directly led to what happened in November. And I also think that it's still going to take a lot in terms of legislation and empowerment and other facets of American life to truly recognize the pain and PTSD caused to Black people in this country. It's going to take a lot more than just slapping up Black Lives Matter on a street sign or writing in the street with some very pretty chalk, because you're trying to change the mindsets of people who have been unwilling to listen to you for hundreds of years, and it's been taught. I literally was driving home yesterday from the gym and I saw a truck drive by, and in the back window on the side had a very small Confederate flag sticker. I'm like, if I was not in my right mind, I would probably see if I can like shoot your tire out right quick fast and claim retribution for my brothers and sisters. But in reality, I just drove by. I was like, no, you ain't even worth it. And again, it is with a lot of races. They ain't worth it, for one. And second, what races can fight? What races got hands? Not a one. Not a single one has hands. Well, again, I'm not, and then also we could talk about this. I don't think Jake Paul's racist. I think Jake Paul's opportunist, but he has hands. Okay.
Yeah.
Nate Robinson found out the hard way that he has hands.
I mean, the motherfuckers in prison. What's that group called?
Aryan
Nation. They probably got hands because they in the pen. But
yeah,
that's really about it.
Again, they had to learn how to have hands because they still have this innate belief that all black people can fight and all black people can do this, thing, that, and the third. Which, yes and no.
Yeah,
I mean, black people can do many things that a lot of people can not do. Dictate culture in this country, black people do that. Now, if we could do the same thing and apply it to these laws and the prison population and having people involved that look like me and you and Jasmine and Figgy in the cannabis industry in terms of executive levels where they make $100 million, they clear $100 million and it not looked upon like, oh, he's a drug dealer, but no, he is a pharmaceutical genius. I'd rather that too. Like, don't give me culture, give me the whole pot. Recognize me for who I am. And I told this to the BBC, like, all these people want is to be recognized for their human decency. Recognize me as a human being. Like, I'm just like you. So, but due to 400 years of conditioning by you, now I have to react this way. Because you only listen to me when I react this way. Buildings can be replaced. Street signs can be replaced. Windows can be broken and put back together. You can't take somebody's life and think that's gonna be cool.
I feel you, man. And I agree. I'm kind of in between as far as the answer for that question too. I think things have changed. You know, it's good to see, you know, finally schools were removing the name Robert E. Lee and all these Confederate generals. The monuments are being removed either forcibly or willingly by the state's legislatures. So that there has been some good things. Also, we have to note the Washington Redskins changed their name finally after years of outcry. I know that's not really a black issue, but it's still a minority issue.
That's something that probably wouldn't have happened.
Oh, no, definitely. The owner said it would never happen.
Yeah.
It was the sponsors putting pressure that changed that. Also, the Cleveland Indians have changed their name as well. So things have happened. But yeah, you do want to see more. And I gotta say, man, even though, because it's difficult to have this conversation because you don't want people to miss out on their livelihood or miss money. But I do think bringing sports back so soon was a mistake. Like, I feel like the pressure was on a lot more when we had, because the reason this blew up, because we've had police killings, you know, for years, decades, fucking centuries, honestly. Like, and the pressure when this happened was much higher in my lifetime that I've seen. Like, I wasn't really around for Rodney King. I don't remember that really too well, but in my lifetime, this is the most I've seen in terms of pressure being applied, people letting their voices be heard and let them know we're not taking this shit anymore, man. And I did see that pressure fall off once we started to introduce sports and the distractions came back, because at this time, the reason why it got so high was because we had nothing to distract us. You know, no TV to watch, couldn't go to the movies, no sports on at all, like nothing to really make you look at anything else but this going on.
Well, to be fair, we did have slight distractions before this. In Last Dance and Insecure.
Yeah, but that was over in like what, 5 weeks. You know, it wasn't like and even in only the beginning episodes were really popular. So that wasn't like, and I wouldn't call it a distraction, man. Yeah, people talked about it, but it wasn't like the NBA playing every single night or the NFL playing 3 nights a week. You know, like that was a slight distraction, but it was not, I didn't see that as taking a lot of attention away from the George Floyd issues and everything that was going on. But I do feel like, and especially after the Breonna Taylor decision, I felt like the NBA should have canceled the season. Like, I felt like that was the time to do it. And the fact that they didn't, you know, it kind of sucked for me, man, because I felt like we were finally putting pressure to see, and I know I'm using we because I wasn't out there on the streets, but from what I saw of people doing it, like, I was proud, man. You know, it felt good to see that kind of pressure being applied finally. And then you see it on the timeline every single day. But when LeBron come back and he's in the bubble, everybody's talking about the Lakers, you know, like this discussion's kind of faded away. And that's unfortunate. You know, I wish we could focus on more than one thing at a time. And I know we can. The people are doing good work out there. I don't want to generalize too much, but in general, as I generalize, that like there was a lot of focus taken away from the movements for social justice when sports and other distractions came back. You know, what's everybody talking about now? The fucking Mandalorian, NBA coming back, NFL. It's like none of the energy is the same, dog. Let's be real. The energy is not the same at all. You know, we got a new president, so everything's honky dory now, I guess. But I don't know. It was good to see. I just wish it lasted longer. But you know, it is what it is, and I think the fight's not over. Like Kobe said after Game 4 or Game 3, whatever game it was, job's not done. So, you know,
that was one of my favorite clips from Kobe too. Like, what job's not done?
Aren't you happy about being up 3-1? Job's not done.
No, it was 2-0. Are you talking about being up 2-0?
Yeah.
Like,
job's not done.
So what?
Is it done?
Job's not done. Job done.
That is a great Kobe clip, man. But yeah. Personally, I would have liked the injury to last longer, but it was still, you know, a moment in time, definitely. So moving on throughout the year, real quick, we're gonna wrap this up because really, you know, after that, it wasn't really too much, you know, in terms of, you know,
it got real blur, right? It
did
because things got somewhat back to like a weird malaise out normal.
Yeah. In June, the NBA returned on June 4th. I also remember No Name and J. Cole had a weird beef at that time.
Yeah, there was that. There was that. And then J. Cole told me that he don't be reading. And he was like, oh, was finally put to bed the rest that you gotta have a certain level of intelligence to enjoy J. Cole.
Yeah.
And J. Cole does not have a certain level of intelligence to enjoy himself.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I don't be reading no books, man.
I don't be reading books. Like, I'm sorry, what, nigga?
Yeah. And No Name had a little boost to her after that happened. She tweeted too much. That's her problem. She tweeted herself out the game. I think she got a little like some things you just don't need to express on Twitter as much. Because when you I can speak as a Twitter addict. There are times when you probably shouldn't be tweeting. And I think she was tweeting through a lot of emotions at that time. Yeah. And I think eventually she deleted her social accounts.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate. I liked her stuff. I liked her thoughts on things, but she's very young. And I think she got caught up in the emotions of that. Everything that happened after that. It's unfortunate, but that was a weird beef that happened that I forgot about. That whole J. Cole and No Name thing.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So in July, we have the Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez incident take place, which has, you know, Megan's still here. Tory, all the goodwill he built from that quarantine radio is gone in a flash. You know, he's now officially facing charges, might go to prison, who knows. So yeah, that whole thing occurred, and that was kind of it for Tory Lanez. He eventually made the whole mixtape trying to explain shit, but niggas weren't really trying to.
Yeah.
So yeah,
quick fire though. That one was fire though.
Rain on the Top was shorter than Leprechaun.
Hey, I'm joking, man. I'm saying what people were saying when it dropped.
Yeah.
Hey, it's fire though. It's fire
though. Must I want to hear his side. Like,
no, my favorite was people taking that, I guess, his album as facts. Like, oh yeah, see, I knew he wasn't lying. Like, motherfucker, it's a rap song. Like, niggas be lying in raps all the time. So what make you think this is true?
Hell, I prefer when you do lie in your raps. It makes the truth sound better. Again.
Yeah, and that month was a weird month. We also had the entanglements happen between Will Smith, Jada Pinkett,
I remember.
August Alsina.
I think that was either my first or second guest appearance on Gyms and Juice this
year. Yeah. So yeah, that happened. That was a weird moment in time as well. Also, Kanye West started to kick up his presidential campaign at that time. I think he had his first rally that was a disaster because
he was crying. And,
he started crying. So yeah, weird month. Weird, like 2020 officially went completely off the rails at this point. Any hopes of return to normalcy completely ended at this point. You know, we were fuckery throughout the end of the year at this point now, I think. You know, there's no more hope. We wait past 6 months and we're still dealing with fuckery every
Which
month.
store are you going to?
So August was also a tough month as well. WAP happens.
Let me see.
This nigga needs to mute himself. Let me go ahead. This motherfucker making food requests or something. I don't know. But so anyway, in August, the WAP song drops. Too much controversy and praise, depending on what side you're on and who you affiliate with. But also one of the biggest, most impactful records of the year. The video was crazy too. And also Chadwick Boseman, unfortunately, passed away at the end of the month, August 28th. It was revealed he was dealing with stage 4 colon cancer and had been for years. And unfortunately, like one of the last times we saw him was on Instagram Live. He looked way skinny. And everybody, I guess, assumed he was doing it for a role. But you know how niggas are. The jokes were flying. Niggas call him the crack panther and shit like that. And then, when it turned out that he had been sick for a long time and he was near death when he did that Instagram Live, everybody got sentimental and said, we should be talking about people no more. Let's be nice to each other. That lasted for about 6 hours, maybe. Then niggas were talking about LeBron James' hairline. So let's talk about that real quick. The Chadwick Boseman thing, like, I know we talk about the same thing with Kobe, but did that feel real to you now? That was only a few months ago in August, but does that feel real to you still? Like, does it still shock you that he's gone?
It does, because of the big year that he had as far as Black Panther went, and just him being that representation of the Black superhero for our culture. It definitely is still impactful right now. And then again, like Brandon kind of mentioned, his movies that are continuing to come out, and just seeing how great of an actor he was. And I don't know if people appreciated him before he passed as the actor that he was, but just seeing him in these roles and how great he was, and then knowing that he was going through that, it's kind of like it puts things in perspective. Like damn near 2020, all 2020 has, but it's sad to see that someone that was able to withstand all of that is gone. We just don't have that person here anymore. And to not even know that he was that big, obviously his role was huge, but not Black Panther, but not even to know how big he was. Like, the kids didn't even know what he was going through and withstanding through all of that until after he was gone. So I don't know. It's just sad. Still prayers go out to his family and loved ones and friends.
Yeah, it was really sad. What about you, Figgy?
Yeah, I think it hurt. I feel a little more better knowing that he kind of accomplished the stuff he accomplished and just what he stood for. So I feel like he did leave an impact before he left. But just, I don't know, just the simple fact that everything he stood for, man, like everything was positive. You ain't hear nothing negative about Chadwick Boseman. Just the certain roles he played. He played James Brown, Jackie Robinson. He made the Black Panther cool, like to the point that probably would have been his career, honestly. Like, people would have known him as the Black Panther, not as Chadwick Boseman. But just for the simple fact how I guess him playing that role changed, I guess, the way we look at superheroes, especially as Black people. I felt that meant a lot, man. Like, I know we could say what we want about the actual movie, because a lot of people feel like that was one of the worst Marvel movies in that whole little bunch. But hey, some people feel like that. But I just think that whole experience. Oh, he on mute. You got to unmute, Brandon. We might need
we muted you because you was making food orders or something.
This is facts. I was making Uber Eats orders. My bad. But I beg your pardon. I'm sorry. What now?
Black Panther was not a great movie, man. Let's be real. Like, I like for what it did for the culture. I like the picture of a all black cast in a superhero movie. That was cool. The plot stunk. The CIA agent hero stunk. A lot of things about it stunk to me, man. Like it could have been much better if it was dealt with without the corporate influence of let's make the CIA agent a good guy. The fucking I'm not gonna go on a rant, man. We're talking about RP Church. I'm not gonna go on a Black Panther.
Go ahead, man.
Because my thing is, okay, if you're a kid and you want to learn about the Black Panthers, when you search Black Panther, this movie will come up. You have to specifically go a little deeper into the web to find out about the Black Panther group. And this movie is nothing like anything I know the Black Panther is a comic book franchise and hero, but I don't like the fact that the movie had such Eurocentric themes. I'll put it like that. In a Black Panther movie where, the namesake is taken from a extremely, a revolutionary Black group. I have a problem with that. But that is going on a whole different tangent. I don't put that on Chadwick Boseman. He was an actor. He didn't direct the shit. He ain't write the shit. It ain't on him. He did a good job. It was a good performance. He's a great actor. RP. But do you just have a problem with the name Black Panther? I have a problem with the way things happen in the movie. I had a problem with the way Killmonger was kind of portrayed because he had some good points. In the movie, I think everybody agreed, but they also had to make him go over the top being the villain in terms of having his girlfriend killed or killing his girlfriend, choking women. I know I'm going very Dr. Umar here, but there was the way things were portrayed. They kind of bothered me. The CIA agent should not be you didn't even have to have a CIA agent. They took him to the fucking secret continent to get healed, but they wouldn't let the Black people who were related into the country of Wakanda, but you let this stranger white guy in because he took a bullet and only you can heal it. That was ridiculous, man. A lot of silly things happen in the movie, man, but that's just nitpicking. I don't hate the movie. It was fine, but it could have been much better if handled more appropriately. Yeah. But that's a whole.
Yeah. With that being said, I feel like the movie did. I feel like that was an important movie in our lifetime. I mean,
it was. It was a cool moment. I like that.
Yeah, it was a good feeling going to the movie theater and seeing people in their pride and their Black power shit, just ready to see the movie. I mean, how many times can you say you went to a movie all dressed up? I didn't dress up, but
yeah,
you see it with Star Wars, you see it with Harry Potter. It's good to see something like that we can actually dress up for and go see. And it was all because, to me, I feel like Chadwick Boseman played a big part of that. And I know towards the end he kind of got tired of the whole Wakanda forever.
Yeah,
but that's something that was legendary, man. And I feel like that honestly, I felt like that kind of boosted the whole Marvel universe up a little bit, because a lot of people wasn't watching that shit like that. So after that point, a lot of people got into Marvel movies. So I feel like Black Panther was a extremely important film, no matter how you feel about the actual film. But I still think it was very important.
Brandon, do you think it's a good move for them to continue the film without Chadwick and not recast him?
Yeah, I think it is, because again, if you think about the movie itself, the comic itself, the Black Panther, it's a character. It is a ceremonial position within the tribe, and then Shuri is supposed to be next in line. You read the comics, right? So the way
she got canceled though, so I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Did she really though?
Yeah, she deleted her socials.
It didn't last long enough to be really like you got canceled. It didn't last
because she deleted her socials, so now there ain't nobody else to bully. But when she comes back during the press run, she gonna have to answer some questions.
Yeah, some of them. But then again, I was about to make make jokes, and I looked up. I say cancel Notre Dame on any channel that is not NBC, because whenever they're on any other channel, they get drove in a primetime situation. So yeah, just I wouldn't want to recast it, because it's gonna make because what it's gonna do for that actor is they're gonna have to deal with the pressure of living up to what Chadwick already did. Like, this ain't Mark Ruffalo replacing Edward Norton as the Hulk. You know what I mean? This is there's a lot more riding on this than just playing a character. It was symbolic.
He was actually the face. He's the actual face of Black Panther at this point.
Like he's the guy. Then, like you know how you say with WWE run, then now forever.
Yeah.
Same thing with this. Then now forever.
Yeah, they can't make another Undertaker. It's not gonna work. So yeah, that very, very sad. And now it's so sudden the thing about Chadwick Boseman. That's like the cherry on top of a shit year in terms of things that's happened.
That was a crazy week too. Remember that was the week I want to say the Astros boycotted the game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was actually the same night he died. The same day he died.
Yeah.
Astros boycotted the game. So I was working that night because the Astros was supposed to play. And when I tell you when they canceled the game, our PD told us that just keep it open, take calls. I'm like, holy shit.
Oh no.
Wasn't because there was another like police shooting or something like that. That's why they canceled the game.
I think it was after Jacob Blake.
Yeah.
After the NBA players walked out, and that happened.
Yeah, everybody was like, "Nah, we're just not doing this today, guys.
Yeah,
we're not doing this."
Yeah, and so we had to take a shit ton of calls, and people. When I tell you, I was screening these calls, and people, I'm so done with the NBA and the MLB. I can't believe they keep bringing this stuff into sports and blah blah. I'm like, man, this is probably. I was like, man, this is probably the worst day of my life, man. This is probably the one. It's probably the only days I felt like quitting. Like I was thinking maybe sports ain't really for me on this level, because just and that's the one thing I realized this year. Like you could be cool with a bunch of people when it comes to sports, but as soon as something like that happens, you realize like, damn, like we really don't have shit in common outside of this sports team.
Yeah.
So it was disturbing, man.
And that's why, and like people say that's a good thing about sports, but I also think it's kind of a shitty thing about sports, because it's like it makes you think you're friends with somebody just because you root for the same team, but then you find out they're fucking secretly racist or some shit like that, or they got some skeletons in it. That might be a fucking creepy ass pedophile or some shit, but y'all feel like you can relate because y'all root for the same team. Like, who gives a fuck about? Like, I know we all work in sports, but really, sports don't really mean shit, dog, in the grand scheme of anything. Like, it's cool shit to watch as a spectator. It's cool to debate and argue, but it's really just fluff. It's really no different from fucking real. Like, I mock women for watching Real Housewives of LA or whatever the fuck, any of those reality shows. But sports are really no better. Honestly, they don't really mean anything. You're just watching other men play a game at the end of the day. So I don't know. This year put a lot of things in perspective for me, and that's another thing too, where it's like just because somebody you think they fuck with you because you work with a sports station or y'all got the same sports views. Like, no, y'all might be very different, and maybe it's better to know how different you are before you think that y'all everything is cool. So. Yeah,
it was so frustrating just seeing people like, oh, George Floyd wasn't no angel, and like, man, like your auntie Betty wasn't a fucking angel. Like, do you see us sitting here trying to bash her at the funeral or saying how she wasn't perfect and all this other shit?
I don't know. I'm shady enough time. I might do it.
Might need to start doing that shit, man. Everybody be quick to talk about somebody ain't no angel. Like y'all the angels.
Nah, but do that every time some prominent white guy dies.
I know I did it with Don Amos pass. I'm like, well, you wasn't no angel, but George Bush wasn't no angel. See, I ain't even go that far. That's a little bit too political. I say something bad about George Bush Sr. See, I ain't gonna knock on my door like. Hey, so did you say these things on the days of December the 9th, 2018 about one George Herbert Walker Bush?
Barbara Bush wasn't no angel, right?
Dang.
Man, you can do
that's how stupid people sound, man. Like when
the only politician I'll get that deep into is Ronald Reagan. All right, that's it. That's the only one. Ronald Reagan and Nancy Reagan get all this slander.
But see,
first drug company that got to the White House, bro. First drug kingpin in the White House.
Yeah, but that's how stupid people sound, man. Like whenever they say stupid shit like that.
Nah, Dick Cheney gonna get it pretty hard when he dies. So I hope his supporters are ready for it because that man was a fucking terror. But so yeah, that basically wraps up. Y'all were here in November and December. We all remember all shit that happened. October, Lakers won the championship. I don't give a fuck, really. No, you're a Lakers fan, Brandon.
I'm a LeBron fan. It's a totally different situation.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
LeBron
I'm a LeBron fan. I'm a Kobe fan.
Totally different situation. Again.
Okay.
I root for LeBron Raymond James, son of Gloria James, born in Akron, Ohio, December 30th, 1984.
Church organs real quick.
Let all the church organs roll through. 4-time NBA champion, 4-time NBA Finals MVP, 3rd-time all lead scorer in the league. All of it.
Man, how about LeBron trying to make it like this championship was the hardest?
Well, okay. You want to? All right, let's have this conversation.
Oh no! Here we go. The LeBron Defense Force.
Now, is it true that this was the hardest chip per se?
No,
not necessarily. Like, because again, the Rockets in '95 had a tougher run to a chip. The Mavs in 2011 had a tougher run to the chip. Now, did he have the hardest finals, I would say, ever in 2016? Yes. Does the bubble kind of like we have to deal with your mental health and all that? You don't have to.
That team full of veterans who have been in the league for 10 years, dog. They ain't have no problem being locked up in a hotel for a couple of months. They don't leave home anyway.
But here's the thing, though, Rocky. Here's the thing. When you think of basketball, you gotta think of all the outside shit. Like, how many people you know that got caught up going to Miami and then like they play the Heat and they get blown out by 30?
Yeah,
like all the little trappings about the game, like travel, breaks per se, all that got wiped out. So basically, you are literally on an even playing field with everybody.
But who does that favor? Like, the younger players or the older ones? Exactly.
Yes. Again, look, man, the playoffs made Tyler Hero trade fodder for James Harden, bro. Like, think about this. God. Think about that, right?
That's why the bubble should be invalid, and this championship should have the asterisk on it, because we have some superstars like Jamal Murray and fucking Tyler Hero fucking suddenly act like they're superstars because they had a great appearance in the bubble with no crowds and no travel or nothing at all. So, okay.
So, as we like to say, and Jasmine, I'm not being disrespectful when I say this. How do you play when the hoes around?
Exactly. Exactly. You seen that meme of Steph playing with that girl looking in the? I know y'all seen that picture with the girl licking her lips in the background.
Yeah. Again, how do you play when the hoes is watching? When the hoes is watching, are you good? Are you all times great? Are you a superstar? And at least Anthony Davis, I know when the hoes is watching him, he balls out.
Yeah.
So again, I don't think it was the hardest championship ever because again, the 95 Rockets exist and the 2011 Mavs exist. That's all I'm saying. You thought I was going to be agreeing, didn't you?
I thought
you were fearful. You were fearful.
Like this nigga. Full LeBron. I thought you were going to go full LeBron for us, man. My bad. So, all right, fair enough. Wrapping up November, and we're still in December, so I ain't gonna wrap this month up. But of course, we had a presidential election. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Despite what I thought would happen, I didn't think they were gonna win. I thought Trump was somehow gonna pull it out. He didn't.
We did it, Joe.
Yeah.
We did it 63 days in a row. We did
it. And it's official now. Finally, the electorates put in their votes, and now it's official. It is now, man. Like, it can't get, like, they can't contest this shit anymore. The Supreme Court already rejected it, I think. So,
man,
it's already done.
Was so strange, man. Because usually I've been watching the election probably since the Al Gore, George Bush election. That's when I really started paying attention to it. But I've never seen no shit like this before, where it took a week to figure out who even won, I guess.
It took longer in the year 2000. It took way longer. It took like a month for us to have that election decided.
Because it's one state.
Yeah. So it's not the craziest in my lifetime, but it's the second craziest. And there's circumstances because of that, because of the whole mail-in votes and all that shit. So it is what it is. But Trump is out of here. We got Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Joe Biden already yelling at niggas, telling them to stop complaining about shit.
Uncle Joe is back, baby. Uncle Joe is back.
What more do you guys want? Damn it.
Man, don't he look like Mickey Donovan from Ray Donovan?
Yeah, bro.
Just imagine Mickey Donovan won the presidential race somehow.
Nah, I don't want to think about that because then I can just only think about the shenanigans that would ensue as him as president. That's a terrible thought, actually.
I mean, look, we're 2021 is gonna be a crazy ride too, man. That's all I'm gonna say. So we will stay tuned for that. And also, sadly, Alex Trebek died in November as well, man. So RIP to him. He'd been battling cancer for a while. Who do you guys think should replace Alex Trebek on Jeopardy, if you give a shit?
Ken Jennings.
Really? A former contestant should replace Alex
He's
Trebek?
the greatest contestant in Jeopardy history. Like, I don't know. Like,
Ken Jennings?
Either him or LeVar Burton.
Yeah.
That's my only.
Don't they,
That's my only picks.
They actually got a show coming out, right? They got a show.
Ken Jennings?
Yeah, I want to say it's Ken Jennings and two other dudes that was legends on that show.
Oh, okay.
They doing some type of question show.
Why are you gonna get fucking nerds to host a game show, man? You got to get somebody at least entertaining or professional sounding. I say get Nick Cannon.
Nick Cannon?
Get Nick Cannon to do it.
Did we talk about Nick Cannon having his own controversial year?
Yeah. Oh, we forgot about that.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
It's a whole lot of
Exactly right. You forgot, like, oh shit. Shit, yes.
Is that under the what's that umbrella, that company? What's that?
Viacom.
Is that under Viacom?
I think it is, yeah.
Wait, no. Jeopardy comes on now. It wasn't syndication, so I don't know who has like the original.
CBS, isn't it?
Shit. I think so.
If it's CBS, then that's probably Viacom, right?
Yep.
Hey man,
definitely
he done did the apology. He did the apology tour as best as anybody could. He had a rabbi on the fucking podcast. He was renouncing everything he said. I think he's gonna fucking get Jewish baptized soon. Like, I think he has fully done the apology tour, and I think they're gonna throw him a bone, maybe. But I don't know. But it was sad that Alex Trebek died, man. I watched Jeopardy growing up a lot. My mom was a huge fan. She used to watch. We used to have the Sega Genesis game, and we played that too.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it was sad, man.
Yeah, y'all next level, then. You're next level. If you had you had the game.
Yeah, the Sega Genesis.
To be fair, I did rent the game once. Not gonna lie to you. I rented from Blockbuster. All right, I rented from Blockbuster.
Jeopardy was one of them games that we really couldn't watch because we didn't know none of that shit. In 1738.
I want to ask this too. Like, I don't know if y'all seen Jeopardy lately. Is it near? Has the game gotten way easier?
It's
like,
way easier.
It's easier now.
It's way easier.
Yeah, because I did not. Yeah, they be bringing up the Constitution and all this other shit. It's just like, I don't know that shit. Or
like they be asking about Ice Cube songs, man. Like they be asking regular modern day shit on Jeopardy. Man.
As I explained on my Clubhouse, there is a Black Jeopardy room every Tuesday night. If you want to win you some bread, just hop on in and hope they call you onto the stage.
But how do you? Okay, I want to ask about that too. Clubhouse God, I'm glad you're here. How does that work? How does that work when you got the internet right next to you? Like, how are you gonna play Jeopardy on Clubhouse when niggas are looking up shit on the internet?
You got 5 seconds. You got 5 seconds.
Really? I mean, niggas type quick.
Yeah.
Nah, the search results don't be coming in that fast though.
Okay. I was just wondering because I feel like if somebody buzzed in and got the answer wrong, the next person could have looked it up by then. So I don't know.
That's very true.
But
look at Ryan looking at all the loopholes.
I'm just saying, like, look, I'm sure everybody else is doing it, but I'm just asking, how does that work? How do you prevent people from getting on the internet? Because I mean, shit, I might join in on Tuesday and see if they give me a quick 400, whatever y'all be giving. So
this is nuts, bro. You know what? Okay, so this is kind of off subject, but you know how like every year they have the Dr. Pepper challenge during the middle of the ACC or Big 12 championship game? So they did it like virtual this year. And I was like, oh shit, we are still in a pandemic.
Yeah.
You can't even do that no more.
Imagine showing because I know everybody has said this at this point, but imagine showing a screenshot of what 2020 looks right now to us in January and see how we would think it's a fucking movie. Like, there's no way this to be real. Wrestling shows with people's faces on iPads instead of people being there, empty stadium football games, like all this crazy shit. Is everything virtual now? Like, it's very strange. We would never believe this would happen in this year, but it
Absolutely
did.
not.
The other strange thing is the fucking Browns are 9-4.
Yeah, that too.
and lost arguably the best game of the year due to a nigga needing to take a shit.
that was insane, man. But for the simple fact the Browns are contenders, to me that's so 2020, man. Like, I wouldn't even be surprised if they won it all, and it don't even fucking matter because it's 2020.
Nah, it wouldn't matter in Cleveland. Y'all would go crazy.
Of course.
So long.
Yeah, that's gonna matter, but still, at the end of the day, it's gonna be like, well, that was that crazy 2020 year.
Yeah, true. But I would take that over nothing. I'm taking the Astros asterisk championship over nothing. I'm like, fuck it, I'll take that tainted shit. But anyway, so let's wrap this up by giving y'all general thoughts on the year, man. I want to know how y'all personally developed and handled this year. Okay, we're gonna get into the nitty gritty. Not enough to talk about everybody else. Gonna talk about y'all personal lives now. And Jasmine, we ain't heard from you a little bit, so I want to do a check-in with you. So how would you categorize your 2020 personally? And what do you think will change, or what are you hoping to accomplish in the next year?
I hate to sound very cliche, but just a sense of self in 2020 and gaining a sense of just what's important and what's not. Learning to, y'all know how like crazy I would work, and just learning balance, honestly, just learning a sense of what's important, prioritizing in a lot better, understanding that, yes, money, you need money to survive, you need these things to survive, but at the same time, like, what health is clearly more important. Like, it don't matter how much money you got if you sick on your deathbed. Like, it doesn't matter like what material things or what job you have when you can't get to your family and visit your family, if that's important to you. So I think just gaining a sense of self, gaining a sense of like this podcast, like just doing work behind the scenes, all the work that I was putting into to help corporations or to help other people make money, like it really transpired into work, like making sure that we straight, making sure that, the entities that we're working on are growing and reaching a level that we want to reach versus just, versus what society deems as important, or what society deems as like, what you have to do to be in a certain space, or what you have to do to be successful. Like, nah, like just making sure. A lot of people don't know themselves. I think that's what a lot of the pandemic showed. And I'm excited for 2021, and 2020 sucked, but in the way of like so many deaths and so many, I don't know if it's because I'm older too, like I paid more attention to the tragedy, or paid more attention to the, I guess, bad quote unquote things that happened. But at the same time, it wasn't a bad year for me. I had a really good year. I think it was a really prosperous year for myself. And I like to think that way of my friends and family and those close to me too. Yeah. I had family that had COVID. I had people that my grandmother passed away. Like, things happened, but at the same time, like, it was just a good perspective on life. It was a great perspective that I don't know that I would have received had we still been kicking it like in February, like we were. So I don't know.
I feel you. And you do seem a little, I see you got a little pep in your step now. I know I was worried about you back at the old job. You know, you seem to be very overworked and stressed all the time. So I'm happy to see the glow up happen. I'm very proud of you. So and we also appreciate all the work you do for the podcast behind the scenes. We always shout you out at the end of the show. So
yes, of course. I may not be here, but I'm here in spirit, you know.
You always here in spirit.
We working. Jay Prince was on the pod. I have just to put that out there. I'm sorry. I have to tell y'all, I was napping deep in a coma. And I woke up to all I could see was Ryan saying, "We are mob ties now." And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I opened it and there was a screenshot. I was like, wow, Figgy, I thought we communicated. Like, what is going on? And they surprised the hell out of me. And I'm just super proud of y'all. I'm just super proud of this podcast. Like, we have shout out to Jules. Like, I wasn't always a part of this. And I'm just really excited for the growth that we're doing. Like, we're just getting better and better each show, and I'm just really thankful for you guys. And yeah, I'm just really excited. I'm really excited for what 2021 is going to bring for all of us.
Shit, I was nervous. I didn't want to bring it up because I wasn't sure if it was going to happen or not.
Yeah.
And it was so last minute because this PR person hit me. I hit her up probably a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I'll be shooting random emails, and she hit me up that Tuesday. The day I found out my wife had COVID.
Yeah.
And so I'm going through that, and I get an email from her like, hey, he good to go Thursday at 6 p.m. So I'm like, oh shit. And by this time I was cool, but that Tuesday night, Wednesday, I'm like, fuck, I feel like shit. I'm like, but we got to do this interview. I don't give a damn. And yes, and Thursday came, and we was thinking like, oh shit, I don't think he gonna make it, and he popped on.
Yeah, like I said the last podcast, man, and like I was down at the time too because we had people cancel in the last few weeks, and that always sucks because you make time for people, and I'm like, fuck. So I'm looking at Jay Prince. I'm like, is he really gonna come, man? Is he really gonna come through? Because I see him on Drink Champs, I see him on all the legit big podcasts. I'm like, it would be great if he made time for us, but I just like, is it really going to happen? I was looking at it that way, but nah, he came through, man. So I'm a Jay Prince fan now, man. Whatever y'all got against that man, kill it, because we in mob ties now, dog. We qualified, and yeah, we ain't taking that shit in 2020. But so same question goes to you, Brandon, man. What is this year meant to you on a personal level, and has it changed? Like, has your lifestyle really changed as a result of everything going on right now? And has it been a prosperous year for you? And what are you looking forward to accomplish in 2021?
I would say that this has arguably been one of the biggest professional years of my life. Only because of where I ended up going this year. It's my first time being featured in Pitchfork. First time being interviewed by the BBC. First time being writing for NPR, being interviewed by NPR. So it's just more like ticks to the resume. I would say that this year, having the feeling and having like the feeling just like sit down and like just map stuff out some more and kind of like dab into other things I wanted to do. Like, I'm learning how to DJ. I'm writing a script for a film, right? And it's like all these different things that I wanted to do. I finally had, not even that I had the time, I finally got to like sit down in myself and in my own comfort and be like, yo, let's start assessing out what we want to do and do the thing where we actually execute them, as opposed to like, say we started and then like never finish it, right? I think 2020 really just taught me a lot about boundary and also understanding what your time is now that everyone's almost has the same, level of like what you can do and what you can achieve. And for y'all to bring me on and be part of this extended family is pretty dope. I really appreciate it. I was sitting in my bed when I saw Jay Prince in that weird little setup he got in his crib, and I was like, "Oh, my niggas made it! My niggas made it! Yes, let's go! My niggas made it!" So that, and then just I think a lot for 2021 is finishing things that I started in 2020, get better at things I started in 2020. And also, hopefully just keep adding to this resume. Just keep tapping into things that I like and keep talking to people and keep telling their stories. That's my main thing. Like, everybody understands what their job is. Mine is to tell people stories and make them sound as dope as possible.
Yeah, and we're always happy to have you on the podcast, man. I'm always glad to see you. For anybody who don't follow Brandon on Twitter and Instagram, he be posting his moves and all his project and things he be working on.
Yep.
I'm always happy to see you doing big things too as well, man. We love having you on this podcast. You always give us good stuff, good insider info, so we appreciate that. And yeah, man. So blessings to you. I know 2021 gonna be huge for you as well. And
it's gonna be huge for y'all.
We're gonna do this again.
Oh yeah, definitely. Look, I'm gonna try to just put up numbers like James Harden when you give him more than 2 days off. Because again, I did the real stat geek shit on this. I broke this down. The Rockets had 10 games last year where they played with two or more days rest. Right? James Harden in those games averaged 39, 6, and 8. In one of those games, he threw up 60 against the Hawks. Again. Let that man rip the PJ for a couple days, go party, get it out of his system, and let him come back to work. The only thing is be professional about it. Like, don't do the shit like training camp when you're trying to learn a new system and all that. Do that shit like when you got like a weird series where you got to go play Charlotte, Atlanta, and fucking Memphis. Somebody like do that. Do it then. Don't do it now. We gotta just show up, bro. Because again, like, and I was telling somebody earlier on Clubhouse, like. Harden just gotta play. If Harden plays, he will once more like his trade value will be back up. Because right now nobody wants to really touch him because he out here fucking up the money for everybody else.
I think James just wants to play with his friends. He wanted to.
We just saw what happened when he went to play with his friends.
He wants to play with his other friends. Like, you know how he is, man. He always and the thing about James is like. I didn't give a fuck about that piece that came out, that Tim McMahon piece about how he parties all the time and the organization does whatever he wants. That's most of the teams in the NBA. You think Milwaukee telling Giannis no when he asked for anything? You think LA is going to tell LeBron no when he asked? Yeah, LeBron got championships, fair enough. But you think they're going to tell him no when he asked to bring in J.R. Smith or whoever the fuck he wants to bring in?
Here's the thing now. They telling LeBron no now, definitely, because like he's certified in both. Well, not in both, but everywhere. He's certified in LA, certified in Cleveland, certified in Miami. Like, you can't say he did. Like, as much as you want to make it a Mickey Mouse championship ring, he won that motherfucker.
Exactly. So every team treats their superstar like that. Clippers were gonna do whatever the fuck Kawhi take off every other day, and it's fine with them. So they always kowtow to the superstar needs. So I didn't care about that. I cared about him bringing in Westbrook. That sucked. And ruin the team, but fucking whatever. It is what it is. All in the past.
Trade aspect of it would definitely killed it. Like, if you get Westbrook for Chris Paul straight up, cool. But getting Westbrook for Chris Paul and trading up all that draft capital to go with it, was like, yo, what? No.
That stunk. That was the worst part about it. But we already knew.
Daryl Morey turned to Bill O'Brien at the worst possible time.
But that was a hard one that had to happen. Plus, that whole organization's been fucked up since Tillman came in. But it is what it is, man.
Yeah, bro. This is what happens. You don't get your money to bro boys, man. Should let Beyonce get the team like we thought was gonna happen.
Oh, shrimp scampi fucking owner over here. But I digress. We got to ask the same thing to Figgy, man. Figgy, I know it sucks that you got sick at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So I know you're probably not thinking too great about the year in general right now. But what are your general thoughts on, what you've accomplished personally, and what 2021 will bring for the fix?
I think even though a lot happened this year, I still think I had a pretty good year, man. Remember the beginning of the year, I got full time.
Mm-hmm.
So the year started off right for me, but I think overall, man, I felt like us as a podcast really had a good year, man. Like this pandemic, I was worried because I thought this pandemic was gonna fold the podcast. I wasn't sure how we was gonna record. I didn't really know much about Zoom or if we could record on Zoom and all that. But to me, I felt like this pandemic actually made the podcast stronger because remember we was kind of strict on guests. We only wanted the guests in the studio. If you're not in studio, we can't have you type of thing. But to me, this kind of helped us reach out to more people that we probably would never get, and have them on the podcast just like this. Like that's how I reached out to Brandon Caldwell. You know what I mean? He could just hop on, and even though we are all in the same building, but it's easy as a click of a link to get anybody on.
Yeah, and the wildest shit is that like literally like I am on 9th, you are all the way up in the high rise aspect. On the other side, it's like we and Fig would never see each other. Yeah. Mind you, the only time I've ever like kicked it with a Rockett is literally
Jack Freeman podcast.
On March the 30th, 2019.
How do you remember that day?
That's what I was gonna ask.
Because Nipsey died the very next day.
Oh yeah, that's right. Shit. Damn. I forgot we did the podcast right before that.
Yeah, trust me. The elephant brain works like that. I remember moments. All this just really connected.
Yeah, sure. I remember because we once we did a podcast. I want to say that was probably one of our worst podcasts in Just the Juice history.
Oh yeah.
Because Jasmine was very upset about Nipsey, about the passing of Nipsey, and that whole vibe was just awful that day. So yeah,
we moved and grew. We grew from that moment. Yeah. So
we can laugh at it a little bit now. That was a year ago.
Yeah,
but yeah, I just think, man, like all the guests we had on, we had tons of guests. We had Fat Tony, we had Jay Prince, we had Donnie Houston on. Who else? We had
Smith was on. Jack Freeman came back on.
Wade Smith, Jack Freeman, JR Sports Brief.
Yeah,
all the way in Atlanta. I mean, there's no way we would have had him on.
Nefertiti, Avani, all the Cleveland people coming through, holding it down.
Yeah, Quincy Avery, Deshaun Watson quarterback coach.
Jalen Hurts quarterback coach too.
Yep, every black quarterback coach basically.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a real quick question. Do you think white people should know that what Jalen was doing looks like he was throwing up the hooks for Omega Sci-Fi on the field Sunday?
I
didn't see that.
Yeah, I seen it. No, remember that face? Everybody saying he was throwing up the Kiss.
Yeah, he was like Gene Simmons from Kiss. Yeah,
I don't know what I don't know nothing about Omega Sci-Fi, but I damn sure ain't think about Kiss when he did that.
He didn't know. He don't know who the fuck Kiss are, man.
Yeah,
like white people. And that's the thing. Brandon Scout's supposed to be here, but he has some things come up. I want to ask him because he's the only one right now asking good questions in these Texans press conferences, man. All these old white folks got to go, man. Mark Berman, Aaron Wilson, y'all got to get the fuck out of here, man. Y'all ain't asking no good questions out of here. John McClain be coming through sometimes. Sometimes he be John McClain-y.
No, he'll come through if it's something controversial. He'll step in like, hey, what do you think about the tweet DeAndre Hopkins said? Blah, blah. He'll come through sometimes. He'll ask. But everybody else, I feel like they be pussyfooting around.
Oh, for real.
And then if somebody get upset, then let's talk about Eric Murray.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about the way Eric Murray played all year?
Something nobody cares about, man. Like Brandon, the one in there in the trenches asking the hard questions, though.
Isaiah Coulter, will he play this week?
So yeah, man. Shout out to him, but yeah, I'm in agreement with y'all, man. And it feels kind of weird because when you hear about people saying how bad of a year, it kind of makes you feel guilty for having a pretty decent year yourself. Like my year was pretty good, and I got very anxious, like Figgy said, during the pandemic when we were in the midst of the quarantine, and I was thinking about the podcast probably gone. I was thinking I might be out of work soon. I was thinking, what the fuck am I gonna do? I fell off my fitness goals because the fucking gym closed. I couldn't work out no more. I was eating shitty again. I was like, fuck it, man. Who cares anymore? My anxiety got really bad, but we bounced back better than ever, like Figgy said, man.
Yeah.
And everything's going pretty good right now. So, you know what I'm saying?
It's crazy because, like, our last episode of studio was with Fat Tony.
Yeah.
And that was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, we don't really have guests like that. And for the simple fact that I reached out to him and he was willing to, come through, that was a big deal for us. We like, oh shit, like we getting somewhere now. And then for the pandemic to hit after that, it's just like, damn, I felt like we had a whole bunch of steam rolling in, and it's like, nope, you got to stop. And now it's like, damn, like we go from having the best quality, radio station quality podcast to now we got to record on Zoom, and the connection all messed up, and this quality don't sound right. And I felt like we handled it pretty good, man. Like I wouldn't be surprised if we do this for the rest of the show.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible, man. Like you said, it made it easier to get guests. I think everybody knows how to use Zoom now at this point. So there's no more having to technically try to get people to work. And, so I mean, I think things have turned and been good for us overall in general. And I put that on really Figgy and Jasmine, really the heart and soul and mind behind this podcast. So I got to give y'all all the props, man. Y'all the one doing the hard work, booking the guests and all that shit. So it goes all out to y'all, man. Y'all the real gems and juice. I just be on here talking shit. But y'all the real.
We need you. We're a team. This is a team and group effort always.
Man, Ryan don't be doing shit, man.
I really don't, man. I ain't gonna lie. I don't really be doing shit. I just get on here and talk some shit, man. But it is all y'all. So appreciate y'all as always, man. And 2021 gonna be, I always hate people who say 2021 is gonna be my year. Because, how the fuck do you know what's gonna change personally? Because everybody
said that shit last year
and the year before.
Yes.
I'm not a this is gonna be my year person. I am literally we're gonna take this one day at a time.
Yeah.
I say, but the main thing is, like, while we take it one day at a time, we're also going to understand our little tenets, right? And this is not a plug for the goddamn movie that just dropped. It's basically understanding internally.
Did y'all see that movie too?
I haven't
seen it yet.
I saw it. I saw it Tuesday night. Christopher Nolan was wrong as hell trying to put that movie out in the middle of a goddamn pandemic.
Yes, he was.
That's the best. That's the review. That's the best review I can give you without giving up anything in the movie.
Man, I had to cut that movie off, man.
Nolan has gotten overrated, man. After Dark Knight, let's be honest about the quality of his films. It's been all down.
Well, Inception was all right.
No, Inception is the most overrated movie of all time, maybe.
Overrated?
When's the last time you rewatched Inception, really?
Inception ain't on my... Okay, so here's the fact, right? Inception is down on my list of... Hey, my nigga, this on TV? Bet I'm sitting here and I'm watching it right now.
I rewatch Dark Knight at least once a year. That's how good that movie is. One of the greatest action movies of all time, in my opinion. Inception is a cool watch the first time because it's so trippy looking, but the plot don't make no sense, man. And it's not a classic by any means. Let's be real. It's just a cool visuals and nothing else, really.
So, are you trying to tell me that that Christopher Nolan is the Travis Scott of making movies?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. He is the Travis Scott.
See, you never thought about it like that, now did you?
Dark Knight was Astro World, and everything else is everything else before or after Astro World. Jasmine mad as hell now. He's like,
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything at all.
Man.
I just give props to. But yeah, I'm sorry I interrupted you, man. But
no. Like just the different things within, right? Like, you know who you are as a person. Like, you're going to evolve or devolve regardless, because you're always unlearning things and learning things every fucking day. It's just a matter of taking in the principles of being a good human being, and then just using that every single day, no matter what.
Very well said, man. Very well said. What else can you expect from the Clubhouse God, man? He always dropping some gems.
I mean, look, there's a Clubhouse going on right now. Elliot Wilson just is having his little goat chat party. I'm gonna kind of dive in, listen to that a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Go get me an acai bowl from Main Squeeze over off of University in Sugarland. Shameless plug. I like you guys.
Okay.
I say we need to get more ad sponsorships on Jim and Juice so Ryan and Figgy and Jazz can get that podcast bread. You know what I'm saying? So they can be advertising Manscaped and what's the other one that everybody does?
Manscaped. Bevel used to be. I don't know. I haven't heard Bevel in a while.
They out of business.
Nah, they out of business.
Squarespace.
Squarespace. Talkspace for therapy. All those, right? I need every single one. Especially if you're a local Houstonian, a producer, a filmmaker, and you want Gyms and Juice to promote your project without having to review your project as no bias or anything whatsoever. Pay them some money to do a quick little ad, man.
Yes, agreed. We did this podcast for free long enough, man. We got to see some returns on this shit.
Yeah, we got fucking Jay Prince on this bitch.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Mob ties don't do shit for free no more, man. Sorry.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Just like he said, we bosses.
We bosses, man. Bosses. So yeah. And lastly, we want to thank everybody who listens to the podcast, man. And we mean it from the depths. I know everybody says this at the end, but we really mean it, man. This podcast wouldn't be nothing. We don't do it for ourselves, man. We do it to give y'all something dope to listen to. And we hope we succeed on that more often than not. That's why we get these guests for y'all. That's why we reach out and take these risks, because we're trying to entertain, man. Everything we say, don't take nothing I say too seriously, man. I'll just be bullshitting for content. I don't hate white people or Eminem even. I'll just be bullshitting, man. So, but no, we really love y'all. Everybody who listens, supports the podcast. We know who y'all are. We love y'all. And yeah, we're working on bigger things and better things coming soon. So
also pray for Uncle Luke. Uncle Luke and Figgy got something in common besides liking big bitty hoes.
Wait, what's that?
They both got the Rona.
Uncle Luke got it too?
Yep.
I didn't realize that. Damn. Well, prayers up to Uncle Luke. Hope he get better soon. So yeah, man, that about wraps it up for 2020 on the Gyms and Juice podcast. Like we said, we love y'all. Y'all be safe out there. We will see y'all on the other side of 2021. We're gonna be doing it big again. Got some guests in the works, maybe. We ain't gonna spoil nothing yet, but just might have something big coming up for y'all to start the new year. So yeah, we're gonna get back to it, man. And for everybody who supports and loves the podcast, this is for y'all. And we'll see y'all soon.
Oh yeah.
We qualified.
Yeah.
Qualified.
All right.